And that is why Brandon Cutler is the greatest wrestler who has ever lived, why Mystery Wrestling is the best promotion in the world, and why Evil Uno should be best booker of 2025. Get in the bin. Tony Khan, Triple H, Evil Uno. Thank you for listening, guys.
My God, was that? That was only 7 days. Bloody hell! Yeah, that was a record,
Time
Lucy.
Flies, doesn't it? When we're talking about Brandon Cutler.
Yeah.
You've listened to the camera was rolling the whole time, right? You didn't turn it off.
No, it was definitely
that was
rolling.
Gold.
Definitely rolling. Yep.
That 11 hours I did on his left elbow, magic. Okay. Should we start another episode while we're all still here?
I mean, yeah, a lot's happened. I think we should probably catch up on that. So, I mean, I'm Dan, by the way, and I don't care what anybody says. Whether I may or may not look like a cunt who might be going to Saudi Arabia. I'm not. I'm staying put. So,
I'm Lucy, and I'm the one who told Dan that he looks like CM Punk because he does. And I've spent the last 7 days talking non-stop about mystery wrestling.
I've got an invisible Pepsi tattoo which I've covered up.
I'm Andy, and apparently I can't talk about this because I use an iPhone, so that's me fucked, isn't it? Like, it's literally exactly the same thing. I'm telling everybody, oh, look, I use this iPhone. Saudi Arabia is so fucking good. So, yeah.
Oh, that fucking killed me.
Sorry.
That was the first thing
You're the only one remotely defending Punk in this episode, by the way.
Oh my God, that was fucking brilliant.
Impossible to defend. He's a bad.
I literally read that walking into work, and I mouthed the words right before I walked in, before I started my shift. I'm like, what the fuck? like, oh, hey, good morning. Like,
something to wake up to, isn't it?
Yeah, that definitely is. Yeah, I am that bald bro, and I am your one true bald hero. I am not a bald fraud. I am very humble. I am very honest. I will always be honest to you. I will never be fooling myself and leading you on the whole way like it was a part of the plan and a part of the show the entire time. I will always admit my faults and my wrongdoings. I will never bullshit you.
Part of the show.
Wink, wink.
And I'm Mike. Been away for a couple of weeks, but I'm back now. Let's get into it. CM Punk's a cunt.
Mike's been away, but now he's back. Are you enjoying the show? Because that was all part of the show. Mike's big return. Part of the show. I once watched a bloke trip over a pigeon and fall headfirst into a pile of doner kebab. He stood up, pretended to pocket a coin and went, oh, there it is. It's like, fuck off, Glenn. You're fooling nobody. And I'm not fooled by that either. The R-Truth thing, just accept it for the fun, for the thing that it is. The fans made their voices heard and were listened to. There's no need to pretend it was a plan.
You know what? I love that R-Truth was the one that said he was full of shit, though. He's there going, no, it's true. And R-Truth and his son, wasn't it, going, no. But R-Truth actually tweeted.
And his son.
He tweeted no work.
But you know what? You know what's crazy? Like, we're all like sports fans. Like,
brilliant.
So it was the easiest win for Triple H and TKO. All he had to do at that press conference was say the following: "We made a decision that we thought was in the best interest of the company, but we heard your voices throughout the entire week, and we decided to right a wrong. We apologize. We brought truth back because of you. We heard your voices and we decided to right a wrong." That's all he had to fucking do.
He didn't need to say that. He could have just said, like...
It was the easiest W. Like, let's say, like, in football, it's like an empty net. You pull the keeper away from that. Just tap the ball in the net. You win.
He didn't even need to say that, though. He could have just said, look, we love the WWE universe. We want to make the fans happy. He didn't even need to go into anything about the contract. He could have just said, like... But instead him going, hey, all part of the plan. You enjoy the show? It's like, fuck off, you dickhead. Like,
gaslighting.
Fist full of kebab. No.
Gaslighting the entire fan base. Gaslighting his entire fan base, thinking that they're all idiots, that they're all just going to fall in line. But no, even his most loyal supporters, like, no, we're calling bullshit. Every reputable news source came out in cohesion and said, no, that's not fucking true. And the man's own son said, yo, stop the cap. no work, no nothing. You fucked up. You undersold how important R-Truth was to the locker room and to the fan base. Like, bro, you fucked up. Just admit your mistake, but you come out looking like a bigger fool after the fact than before when you released him, man.
I mean, it just shows that they don't care about the fans, do they? And they don't listen because this happened with several other people before. It happened with Daniel Bryan, and it happened with Mick Foley and everyone like that. Like they've never given a fuck, and they genuinely don't
Remember
like
Matt
it
Hardy?
No,
all
to be
those
honest.
many years ago. Now, I was actually, this is how old I am, I was on Matt Hardy's personal internet forum when all that went down. I was.
You were telling me this at Eve. I love this.
Yeah, I will not say what my name was, but yeah, I was on that forum. I was a member of the message boards when it all happened. And when Matt reappeared, he came onto the forum and tried to act like he had actually illegally invaded WWE and was there just fighting every week, wrestling. And we were like, Matthew, now then, let's not. And he dropped it, thankfully. So, yeah, if we didn't buy it from Matt Hardy as kids, then or teenagers, we're not going to buy it from Triple H now.
I don't watch, I'm not going to pretend to watch the product because I think it's shite, but, is it true that he's now going by the name Ron Killings as well?
Ron Killings, yes.
Because was the story not that he's been wanting to use that for a while, because obviously when he does leave WWE, which may or may not be soon after what's happened, soon as in, maybe it's a short-term extension, that he wants to actually do some serious wrestling for a while before he does retire under his actual name. Is that true? That's what I read somewhere. I mean, is that the truth? Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, who knows what the truth is nowadays? But I think this deal that he's on right now, I think it's a short-term deal. I think it's his final run. I think they'll allow him to go out on a higher note. I personally think it won't go past the summer. Let him go through the summer. Let him go through SummerSlam at the end of summer, going into fall, on a high note. They'll have a good send-off on him because they have to give him a good send-off now. We'll see. I mean, what they do with Ron Killings. I mean, cutting off the dreads on Raw, that was an interesting sight. I'm not going to lie. It kind of has the Minoru Suzuki haircut. If you look ever since he cut his dreads
Minnow Ron Truthzuki.
He's
Dan, no. Don't ever do that.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I actually was going to say something. You just threw me off. That was awful.
I'm so sorry. I'll leave.
All right.
I'll see myself out.
And that was the only thing that happened this week in WWE. No other news at all.
There's loads of news.
There's
loads of news.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Well, there was. This is not the news you think it's going to be, but there was some great news with Cody Rhodes doing his podcast, and he's lifting the lid on the history of wrestling. And I did not realize at all that the Bullet Club was just so shit. Originally, and apparently it was great when Finn Balor was running the show. That was great, and when AJ was there, it was really good as well. But they weren't shifting merch. They weren't making any money.
No,
they were doing it for free, basically. They were paying to do
Bullet Club shirts at every show. It must have been counterfeit.
They were paying.
They were making their own with Tipex and
they were making a loss. They weren't making any money off those shirts.
And I didn't realise that the only leaders of Bullet Club before Cody were Finn and AJ.
Well, it was Finn and AJ, and they not only were they the only leaders, they were actually paying themselves out their own pocket to keep it afloat because it was
they were buying a million T-shirts to give out to people. Is that what happened?
And Kenny Omega, apparently, he just didn't make any money at all. He wasn't even very good. The Bucks not very good. They don't know what they were even doing there, but thankfully. And I was so happy to learn just what work Cody Rhodes did for Bullet Club. I mean, as soon as he went there, they fucking the biggest faction in the world. They were selling out merch in every fucking country. Saudi Arabia probably as well would shill the merch. Who knows? We'll get back to China. Suddenly stopped making fake jerseys. They were actually buying them. They were that invested in the Cody Rhodes Bullet Club, phenomenon. It's incredible. This needs to be taught in schools. It's fucking brilliant. Because I don't want any of this fake history going around that some other people may have actually been good.
Now, I am a notorious Cody Rhodes defender. I love Cody, but yeah. I kind of feel like he maybe came off a bit like he was trying to say, it was cool until I got there, and then I turned up, big corporate guy, and made it uncool, but it was all about the money, but that's not how it came off. It did sound...
I've liked Cody for a long time. But my God, that guy fucking is so full of shit when he does interviews. He can't help himself. He can't. Like, it's crazy. Every single interview he has to lie about something. It's nuts.
It's almost like he's taking influence from a certain gentleman in charge of the White House. So because that's where he wants to be. That's clearly where he sees himself.
I wasn't saying that, Dan. You said that.
Well,
all I was saying was that he lies.
Well, they sort of, it's a Venn diagram there. But
he's just hoping for less shit, Tan.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
What he is like. All right.
I mean, he
What
taught
else has
the American Dragon how to lie. So there's that.
Yeah.
That's true. He did teach Bryan Danielson how to lie, which has given me trust issues forever. Everything Bryan Danielson says now, for the rest of time, will be met with squinting suspicion.
Well,
Thanks to Cody Rhodes.
Well, perfect transition. Speaking of lies and not being able to trust anyone anymore and going back on your words and laurels. Breaking news this past Monday night on Raw. The voice of the voiceless. The man who embodied in wrestling, who embodied punk rock, who embodied anti-authority, anti-establishment, who told a certain wrestler to go suck a blood money, what, that he'll never take a knee for the establishment, the man. He's not there for the billionaires. Is going to take money from said billionaires in Saudi Arabia. It will be CM Punk versus John Cena for the world title.
I thought you were talking about John Lydon for a second.
That's another
Fucking
reference
MAGA
that you're gonna have to explain to me. I love these references that you guys bring up.
It's not another British serial killer.
Okay, all right. So,
no, not a serial killer.
He could be, to be honest. But...
Well, I mean, we don't know. We don't know if he was on Thingy's Island, but this is Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols, anarchist turned corporate bootlicker, who has a resident, the embodiment of punk rock certainly in the UK. Not doing everything possible to be like anti-establishment and to change the game, and then suddenly ends up with like a villa in Los Angeles and I think 1 or 2 houses in London, and who is just goes on the internet and just chats shit and lies. I'm noticing a theme here.
I will say before I get yelled at that Punk has not actually gone to Saudi Arabia yet. There is a tiny part of me hoping.
He's gone.
No, because the thing is as well is
he might change his mind.
I don't think he will.
He's not going to change his mind. But in all seriousness, the Saudi crown prince, it probably wants Punk there. So if they turn around and then ship me over there, just to sort of do what they did with Hiroki Sumi because they wanted Yokozuna, then who knows? Who knows?
I literally found out about this fake Yokozuna 5 minutes before this.
Please tell.
It's amazing.
Please tell people that didn't know
so
about
good.
this.
I genuinely didn't know about this. It's amazing.
Honestly, yeah. So
the guy was more Yokozuna than Yokozuna.
Well, he certainly was, considering Yokozuna had been dead for some time. But
they should have just sent Yokozuna. Oh, maybe it wouldn't have worked.
That wouldn't have worked. But I think the Saudi prince would have caught on. But he is so. This gentleman Hiroki Sumi is a former sumo wrestler who competed as I think it's a Hisho Fuji during his 12-year career or something like that. But he entered the ring and. Basically because the Saudi prince wanted Yokozuna to turn up, and they couldn't in good faith tell the Saudi prince that said wrestler had passed away some years ago. So rather than just telling the truth, they signed this gentleman who had never competed in a wrestling ring before, only a sumo ring, literally to go down to the ring in Saudi Arabia to stare down Mark Henry and then get eliminated in about 30 seconds. Yeah, that actually happened. So, hey, if you see me in the ring with John Cena and I lose in 30 seconds because Punk somehow doesn't go to Saudi Arabia, then you know that they still haven't learnt their lesson.
I actually do think he will change his mind. I think he probably already has changed his mind. But the bottom line is, it seems like they have him by the fucking balls with whatever contract he signed. He was that desperate. That's why you've seen everything he claimed to have stood by slowly be undone bit by bit since he did sign for him. Whatever contract he signed with him, Robert Johnson got a fucking better deal on that Crossroads, because this is fucking crazy. He's like a child. Some of the things he's come out, he's like a naughty child who's been put on fucking, like a monitoring for 6 weeks before they get expelled from school. You got to fucking do it. And he's literally told. I mean, the things he's coming out with, he's not coming out against any of the MAGA shit that they're coming out with, which he previously would have before he went back there. He's not coming out and professing his defense for gay rights and trans rights and anything because the company is completely against all that kind of fuck stuff. He's not coming out with any of his anti-fucking establishment, anti-billionaire shite that he used to come out with. Same reasons. He said he loves Saudi Arabia. It's a great place to visit, which is fucking hilarious. This was always going to happen when he came out with that fucking statement. Oh, yeah, I haven't got nothing wrong with Saudi Arabia. It's a great place to visit. And it's just bit by bit, everything that he claimed to have stood for is slowly being taken away. I can only assume that he signed a contract that means he's well and truly royally fucked if he does break any of these clauses that they put in there. And with the history he has, you can't blame them for making him, for tying him down to this kind of deal, because the guy's a fucking lunatic.
This is it. If you let him have free reign, he will literally just beat people up and grab someone by the hair when they're not even in a position to defend themselves, and then try and attack the owner of the company. He's a
petulant paranoid little fuck. He's a paranoid, petulant little fuck, isn't he? And at the end of the day, if he gets the slightest hint that someone's breathed in the wrong direction, or someone says hello to him in a funny way, he'll fucking lose his shit. So they've clearly tied him down to some kind of, maximum best behavior kind of clause that will maybe he'll suffer some real severe penalties if he doesn't go along with everything they're fucking demanded.
As the last person in the world, apparently, with even a tiny bit of hope for CM Punk, is it possible to do an injury angle? Seth takes him out, or
you see, that's why that was my first thought when it first came out. I thought you can't see it doing, but as Brett pointed out earlier, they've announced tickets and everything. If you're buying tickets on the idea that CM Punk, John Cena is the match, you can't do that. You can't suddenly fucking pull that away.
Yeah, you can't.
What was it?
Yeah.
So here's the thing: on WWE's official Twitter page, for the match announcement they did Monday night, they announced the match Cena versus Punk, and in the post itself is a link to buy tickets. So it's already Thursday now, 3 days now. So a whole bunch of CM Punk fans have possibly bought tickets to see CM Punk in Saudi Arabia. So here's the thing, it's not just the tickets, it's the air flight, it's the hotels, it's fucking Saudi Arabia. I assume it's not me going to Dallas for all in a 4-hour flight, which is a good deal. No, you're spending an arm and a leg literally to go over there to see your favorite wrestler. They can't back up because you think the backlash of them releasing truth was bad. Imagine they take Punk off the card. Oh wait, I paid thousands of dollars for tickets, air travel, hotel, all this. They'll be even in more hot water than they are right now. So guess what? Punk is going. He's gonna be on the card, and guess what? It was gonna be sooner rather than later, because remember, next year the Royal Rumble is in Saudi Arabia. You want to main event night 2 of WrestleMania, you got to win that fucking Royal Rumble next year. So this ain't going to be the last time that CM Punk's going to be in Saudi.
That's a good shout, there.
He's going back to the Royal Rumble, okay?
The Royal Rumble's a good shout.
Just real quick, and then I'll give it up. Maybe CM Punk is a cautionary tale for all wrestling fans. Let's not hang on every word and every laurel that a wrestler puts out, because at the end of the day, the really great wrestlers, they are working 100% of the time. CM Punk put out this character that he was anti-establishment, that he was punk rock, that he was anti-billionaire, anti-corporation, and all that. But we have seen since 2023, when we all know he was trying to get fired from AEW, he was trying to do every little thing that he could, up until now, 2 years later, he ain't none of that shit. I'm sorry to break, and trust me, I know a lot of CM Punk fans, they have been going through it this past week. I get it, he's one of your favorites, but you know what? At the end of the day, going forward, these professional wrestlers, yes, we all have our favorites, but maybe let's not hang on every single word and that they say, every laurel or everything that they promise that they are, because at the end of the day, they're playing a character on TV. The majority of them. I mean, we want you want to believe that Punk is that guy 24/7. But Andy, like you said, he's been in. This November will be 2 years he's been back in WWE.
Is that 2 years?
This November will be 2 years he'll be back in WWE. I mean, this August will be 2 years since he was fired from AEW. How fucking quick time flies. But in those 2 years, he has done everything to show you that just maybe everything that he has shown you to be, everything I just mentioned, maybe he just isn't at the end of the day.
Well, do you remember the interview he did with Ariel Helwani when he was talking about like how he doesn't want wrestlers to get guaranteed contracts? That was the first time where I was like, this guy's completely full of shit here.
Yeah.
How can you not want wrestlers to be earning guaranteed money? Yeah, it's great for you because you're going to fucking earn whatever you want. You're made. But some of these guys are struggling.
Yeah, that's about as that's about as like anti everything he stands for as you can possibly get.
That's anti-worker, that's anti-labor, that's anti-union. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like Hulk Hogan busted the union.
It does.
It does.
That Jesse Ventura was trying to do in the late 80s. So you know
100%.
And like and whilst I don't think he's doing it for the same reason, Hulk Hogan, I felt like that comment he made was purely to have a dig at AEW. If you're willing to like throw the story or the idea that wrestlers should be paid and should be looked after under the bus just to have a dig at someone, that says a fucking hell of a lot more about the fella and his fucking pettiness, how much he actually fucking cares about his colleagues. If he's willing to let a petty grievance with a company affect other wrestlers just for his own personal win, it's just fucking stupid. He's a cunt. I don't like him.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is as well, it's like we've talked about this at length about how
and he drinks as well.
But those eyes say that he does, and he probably smokes
Look
as well.
My eyes.
But
what
he
do you see?
Fucking red puffy eyes. Mate. That's
A
what
fifth of Jack and
no, we're not gonna start that.
He just
starting that. He looks like me on a Saturday night back in the fucking day, coked up with fucking tits.
Mike, this is being recorded, Mike.
Yeah.
It's live, pal.
We're live, pal. Let me try this again.
We go again? Stand by what I said.
No, I'm not going to start accusing people of like saying they're sober and they're not. It's
No, of course.
Getting...
I'm not. You can say what you want. I fucking believe it. I'm with Dan.
His erratic behaviour is all over the shop as well. Always has been. But it makes Macho Man look fucking like the least paranoid person of all time. It's crazy. Saying that like some of the after shit that he spat his dummy out over the last couple of years has been stuff that hasn't even been anything to do with it.
It's one of them. He is definitely like on like super thin ice. Like the contract that he signed, like they say, like literally, you put a foot wrong, you're gone.
100%. Yeah.
And then he will have burned every possible bridge, and he will never go back. And then he'll go back. The only place he could go back would be, well, maybe not even the UFC because they're tied up with the Fed now. But
why would the UFC even want him? No, he's
just a shit fighter.
He was never like. I don't think they'd even touch him for free. It'd be like the Bullet Club days. He'd be having to pay to get on that show.
It's still annoying. One of my biggest pet peeves. In fact, I'm going to ask you, what is your biggest pet peeve in wrestling? But my biggest pet peeve, I think, is when people think that Cody Rhodes was a leader of Bullet Club because he never was. Like,
the funny thing is how good a politician is. He didn't actually say he was a leader of Bullet Club. The way he phrased it made it sound like it.
Yeah,
he
but
didn't actually say it.
People who
He's not stupid, like.
No, he's not. But like a lot of wrestling fans are. Yeah. A lot of wrestling fans are, and they are convinced that he was the leader of Bullet Club, and they won't actually like fact check. But that just pisses me off.
He's a master politician.
So, what's your biggest pet peeve in wrestling? I'm going to ask the room.
Mine is when people insist on telling you that it's fake. It's like, you don't fucking say it. And it happens in the audience. I've had people say to me, oh, hey, look, he's gone under the ring. Look, he's bladed. You don't sit in the fucking cinema and go, do you see that? You see Thanos, he's not actually purple. You know what they did is they turned the camera off. They painted him. They painted his face. They put paint on him. He's not really fucking purple. Shut up. I know he went under the ring. Shut up. Just let me enjoy it. I don't care. And yet they're there going, oh, look, he was meant to do that spot, or they fucked it there. Shut up. I don't care. Stop telling me it's not real. It's fucking real
to me.
Then, in that moment.
It's real to me.
It's my pet peeve.
That's like when you're telling people about it, like about a show you've been to, whatever, like, you know, they go, oh, I've been to the show, blah, blah, or you're watching it, whatever. And they go, you know, it's not real, like, is it? Fuck's sake.
I mean, that's ruined it for me then. I'm never going there.
Oh, like, you know, them fucking dragons aren't real. The fucking CGI.
Every November and December, I work as a Christmas elf. I'm a boring house scientist through the year. Every September, December, November, December, I'm a Christmas elf called Snowdrop. And the amount of times kids come running up and go, oh, I'm here to see Santa. It never once occurred to me to say, do you know what, you stupid little fucker, he isn't real, is he? It's a beard. Stuck it on, it's a beard, you thick shit.
Maybe you should
do. Oh, Santa's so excited to see you as well. I joined in.
I think, you know what? What you should do is,
fucking fun sponge elf.
if you want to have a really good period over your next stint as whatever the elf's character was, the gimmick of the elf, what you should do is when Snowdrop, that's the one on the Raw brand or whatever. When they come in with a WWE t-shirt on, you should tell them Santa isn't real, it's all fake. Get the fuck out. If they got an AEW top on, get double the presents.
The thing that what will happen is you will react like that.
Indoctrinate the young.
Do it.
You'll react like that the day that Brandon Cutler retires, and if he retires between November and December one year, you will definitely, I can guarantee it, you will react like that to whoever says I'm here to see Santa.
No, Brandon Cutler's never retired.
You know he's not real.
Shut up, Andy. Fucking real to me. Dragons are real. Dragons are very real, okay?
Before I get onto my pet peeve, I have a great idea for a segment for a future show. Dan just gave me there when he said about somebody being on the Epstein's Island. We could do which wrestlers are on Epstein's Island. Anyway, my pet peeve is
seriously, what culture? Call me. I will work for free merch. Get me away from there.
My pet peeve is, I don't know. I just wanted to get the Epstein's Island dig in. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I don't have any. No, just the fact that
like a million.
No, it's just the fact that people are just, you know, people think wrestling is WWE, and that wrecks my head. Like, you tell someone you've been to AEW and they go, "Oh, is that WWE? Is that WWE stuff?" No, it's not. Fuck off before a fucking punch in the face, you cunt. Sorry.
Why aren't you an elf with me, Andy?
And that's only when I'm out.
Call you sugar plum.
That's only when he's out the house.
And that's only when I'm speaking to my grandparents.
Would be a grand.
Not the grandparents.
It's like when old people call like every games console a Nintendo.
It's exactly what it is. It wrecks me head. It's exactly what it is. But no, they do. Like, I mean, I was only, I think I said this a few episodes ago. I was in Tesco wearing a Drew Parker t-shirt, cool t-shirt as well. And these kids came home and go, "Hey mate, is that WWE? Do you like WWE? Do you watch it?" I was like, "No, you fucking dickhead. It's fucking GCW." I didn't say that. I just said, "No, it's not. It's GCW. It's I said you should watch AEW anyway." And then that's it. And they didn't say nothing else. They were actually quite pleasant little shits. But
I'll tell Santa.
No, that's the one.
You want to go next? Because I'm going to get ranty.
Go on, Brett.
My biggest pet peeve in wrestling is the inconsistencies and fickleness of wrestling fans, and it kind of ties in with the recent partnership of WWE and AAA, because over the years before this partnership even started, you would hear like the most loyalists of WWE only fans who only watch WWE like say over the years that they hate comedy wrestling, they hate flippy shit, that they hate just high action go action all the time. But we have the Worlds Collide show this past Saturday, and it was a great show. Don't get me wrong. I'm not crapping on any of the AAA because it was a very good show, very good showing. I think the star of the show was the Iguana, Mr. Iguana. He had his plushie Iguana, and there was a bit where oh my God, Lindsay Dorado took the Iguana, did a Spanish fly, kicked it, beat up the plushie toy, and you know that was the spot. Every one of the WWE fans on my timeline, all my apps, they loved it. But in the previous years, when Orange Cassidy, a comedy gig for AEW, they would crap on this man saying it's the worst thing in wrestling. It's comedy bullshit, has no place in the ring. But then Mr. Iguana comes on their TV screen, they fucking love it. I'll give you another example of the fickleness. The Lucha Brothers, when they were in AEW, these guys are just doing nothing but inconsistent flippy shit. But when they come over to WWE, they love Penta. They love.
I thought they retired.
You know, that's a rumor, but you know what? We found out Sean Ross Sapp confirmed that rumor was false. They went to the Fed, and now they're beloved and everything. So it turns out when it's on their favorite 3-letter promotion, they love the comedy wrestling. They love the flippy shit. They love the high-paced action. It is like what Daniel Bryan said years ago, fickle.
It's not one way though, Brett, because when the rumor was knocking around last week that the Miz's contract's expiring, there was an awful lot of people on the internet who profess to be AEW's biggest fans saying that they think the Miz should be... I'm sorry.
No.
I need names.
If the Miz ever went to AEW, I'd stop watching.
Who said that?
There was loads.
There was quite a few.
Miz?
There was quite... Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's bully, though.
Okay,
they need to be bullied.
He's
it
the
all started
missing
because...
Link, apparently.
It all started because of, you know, what happened with Walter. He deleted all of his socials. It may have been hacked or something, I don't know, but everyone was convinced, he's leaving, he's going. He re-signed late last year. He's not going anywhere, and he's as fed-pilled as they come. I like Walter. I think he's a quality.
Remember what he called
wrestler,
Triple H?
But this is, I do remember, and I don't want to think about it.
The savior of professional wrestling, he called them.
That's Jack Perry, isn't it?
It's Hangman Adam Page.
Jack Perry's the only man to stand up against hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you spell his
And he's
name
making
now?
sick-ass pinecone knives now. Stop dicking
Fucking
about.
amazing, isn't it?
They look wicked,
That's
yeah.
the shit.
I didn't even know
See,
that
but he
was
cut his hand. I thought he was going to fucking slice his finger off. And he's just like, oh well.
I have to look away for that. Everyone's like, oh my God, that's so cool. I'm like, no. If you couldn't handle him at his Cry Me a River, you don't deserve him at his sexy blacksmith.
What's with
I'm
fucking
gonna gatekeep Jack Perry.
Tony needs to get a fucking grip on these cunts. He's got Darby Allin risking his life climbing a fucking mountain, and now he's got Jack Perry playing with knives.
Trying to slice his hand off.
And setting himself on fire for a laugh when he's dicking around with his mates. Yeah, fuck that. I'd be locking him down.
You never did that with your friends. You never set yourself on fire just for the kicks.
Get them on a fucking
Just the lulz.
get them on a Saudi contract.
Oh, goodness me. Right, Mike, the floor is
Speaking of
yours.
fickle, I will say that Mariah was a victim of that as well. Quite a few people are calling her
Who's
all,
that?
every name under the
I've
sun.
never heard of her.
Sorry.
Her name is...
No.
I have. She was great. I
Blake.
think she's retired though. I don't know what she's doing. I haven't heard from her for a while.
I was going to say, I don't remember
the
that.
name is
But
that
the name's
it's
terrible.
already taken
It's
by she's retired now, but an adult entertainment star. There is already a Blake Monroe, and
Isn't she a member of the submission sorority?
the banger bus is back on, lads.
God, fucking hell! I couldn't believe that story the other day. And fucking Sheamus is cracking jokes about it as well. Like, you think he'd be like, let's just keep this on fucking quiet, like.
No shame.
No.
But
Go on, lads, have a bit of fun.
The name rests my head.
You thought Sheamus, the guy who he and Drew McIntyre wanted to form a team called the Bang Bros, was going to be quiet about that?
Banger Bros, I think.
No,
it was very different.
Sorry,
The
the
original
Banger
name.
Bros. My bad.
No, the original name was the Bang Bros. They got told they couldn't do it.
that's what it
Oh
was.
my God! Should have let them do it.
And they were going to go around
do
picking up.
anything. Have a
And they
hobby.
were going to go around picking up women. That was the
No,
beginning.
they were picking up men. They were picking up. Who was it? Which group was it? They were picking up.
I don't know. I don't watch the product.
I can't even remember what the story was. I was reading it and I was
I
like,
think they were picking up anybody that wanted to live.
I was shocked. I was like, this can't be real. And because Sean Ross Sapp tweeted it with a sigh at the start, like he just found out. He's like, oh God, sorry about what you're about
That's
to
a big
read.
men have a hobby.
Uh,
Yeah, they've named Mariah May after a porn star.
Her name's terrible though. Like this is what it's the one thing that throws me out of the Fed completely when people do cross over. Why change the fucking names? Surely her fame and everything, what is something they'll want to capitalize on. The fact that she's just been involved in a big story, get her in there. Oh, with Mariah May, she's here. Like when fucking WCW took Lex Luger, but no, they want to bury her, call her a new name, and try and build from scratch.
Well,
No,
not
it's
even from
because
scratch. They want to use Sabrina Carpenter kind of like iconography.
It sounds
Look
like
at what
because
they
they
do
can't
to their belts.
because they
Totally
can't
gimmick.
think of anything
W on
themselves.
it.
I fucking hate that. That's my pet peeve. Can we go back? That's my pet peeve.
They
The
do
we-
that to the wrestlers. You stick a W on them. And
The
there
belts
they
are disgusting. I hate the belts. I haven't liked the belt for ages. I hate the belts. The fact they have to have this big, horrible fucking logo. And it's not against the WWE. I just think the logo is shite. It's too, like, it's not what
So
should be on a belt.
polished.
It looks
Yeah.
plastic. And a belt should look fucking gold. It should look fucking prestigious.
Can we talk about
We'll
that
get
new
to it
belt?
when-
A belt should look
yeah.
like that,
Talk about the
but it shouldn't look like the belt. And they've probably done it for this reason, but their actual belts look like the belts they sell in fucking Toys R Us. Well, they would have before it went bust. The belts they sell in Smiths or wherever the fuck you can get them from. They actually look like the toy belts. They're indistinguishable, made of fucking shit plastic. Why? It's fucking horrible.
It's the reason I have a conspiracy theory about sausages that I think is relevant here. Okay.
That came from nowhere.
Richmond sausages. I don't know if you have them in America. They are the most garbage sausages in the world.
fuck
They
off.
taste like absolutely
Fuck off.
awful.
No,
shitty
behave.
sausages.
No. I'm not having that.
Except-
I'm not having that. No, Richmond vegan sausages are the
Vegan,
bomb.
right? Now this is about the
No,
vegan
no.
sausages.
You will
Daniel.
not tarnish Richmond
The
sausages in
vegan
front of me.
sausages, everyone says are great. And do you know why everyone says they're great? Because they taste exactly like the shitty meat sausages. So you can buy rubbish, but because it looks like or tastes like the original, you think it's good, and that's what WWE are doing with the belts.
Well, it's
You
better
can
than
buy
a lot
the
of the other
crappy
vegan
knockoff
sausages.
ones, but because they look like
It probably is.
sausages,
It's probably has a
Yeah.
very. It's. I think you've cracked the case. That's probably what it is. It's
they're in league with Richmond
the
sausage.
shit's anyway. I mean, do you remember when they brought the big gold back? And they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we'll bring a big gold," and you looked at it, and as they're unveiling it, big, you're like, "Oh my god, it's big gold," and it's got a big fucking plastic looking WWE logo smack bang in the middle. Why?
And they can make lovely belts. The old Intercontinental with the white strap.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
beautiful.
It's one of the best ones of all time, and like the big gold one they brought back. If you take that stupid logo out and maybe put the
Lovely.
logo in gold around it and make the whole belt gold instead of that, it's the colours. That's what it is. It's the colours on the fucking belt. Horrible.
Real quick.
Andy doesn't have pet peeves.
Yeah. No, real
No,
quick.
he said
just,
that was-
just
70
one by
fucking two
one.
more.
Just one by one, and then we'll move on. Like favorite belt of all time. I'll go first. White Intercontinental belt.
The old
White-
IWGP World title.
Well, that's what I was going to say, but okay,
Oh,
I'll
no,
think
mine.
of another one. I was going to say the Intercontinental title. No, I stand corrected. The old WWF Championship logo, not the not the smoking skull one, the one that came after that,
The way
like
you
the
didn't know.
circular one with the world, like the globe on it.
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's probably my favorite.
Mine's
you
probably.
don't need to-
Oh well, I was going to say that I do like that. That's one of the more recent ones, but it's probably Big Gold, followed by the AEW one is the most beautiful looking belt that's been on for.
That's the only one
God
I
knows how long.
own a copy of, and it's lovely. I own 3 copies of it, would you believe? All different price ranges.
The only one I own is I've got
I
the
believe
big gold with the
Yeah. lovely.
DDP nameplates on it.
Respect.
Oh, wait, can we have specific versions? Can we have Jack Perry's TNT title?
Oh, that's
the
class.
black with the
Yeah.
red splatter paint that now I
Yeah,
suspect
that
was
one was
his
wicked.
blood.
He was
Yeah.
just
No,
like,
no,
finger.
still the original, still
was
the
just like,
old
"Nah."
New Japan.
Why?
There's been some great ones, and it's just a shame that they make them look so fucking shit now. Yeah, whatever.
Right. So that was we got there eventually. Mike,
Mike
what's your
didn't get his pet
peeve?
peeve, did he?
No, he didn't.
Mike's asleep.
Mike's not asleep. Mike's just stoned. No, I'm joking.
Mike's preparing for the episode on Epstein's Island. It's going through his head now. Which wrestlers would be on there? I think we know the number one wrestler to be on there, or
Yeah.
ex-owner, or whatever the fuck he is now.
No. Let's move on. Before we get
No.
a phone call, a cease and desist.
Right. I'm even sat up. That's how you know I'm serious.
Yep.
Right.
Unfortunately, yes.
No.
I can't.
We'll remember episode 6 when we did the original soapbox rant. Yeah? You remember?
Yeah, I remember.
I was not here for that.
Vaguely
You were not
remember,
here
but
for this.
not really.
I was just a twinkle in the eye.
My biggest pet peeve in wrestling, and it sort of piggybacks on Brett's a little bit, is people not understanding cultural nuances in wrestling. So my biggest example for this is fighting spirit, strong style. Oh, Osprey doesn't sell. This cunt doesn't sell. You don't know what selling is. You just don't know. No one knows. None of you cunts know what selling is. It's fighting spirit. It's a completely different style. Fuck off. Just culture yourselves. Watch WWE if that's what you want to watch. Don't comment on other shit that you don't know about. Fuck off.
You don't.
Can I point out there's a cat behind Dan?
Yeah, she's seen a bug. She I think she agrees
I feel
actually.
like it's important and everyone deserves to know.
She's selling. She's just like in the midst of like hitting a Spanish fly, but she's actually got
How'd you learn
straight back up
Spanish?
because she's got fighting spirit.
Like
Does it buzz with an accent?
people
Is that what she's
genuinely
after?
like be confusing what selling and bumping is. Like somebody put up a video collage I saw on Twitter like a minute of, oh, this guy's not selling, and it's just bumps they're taking for a minute. I'm like, those are fucking bumps. That's not selling. Selling is they're working your arm the entire match and you're selling the effects of the moves that they're doing, whether it's wrenching the arm or an arm bar, something like that. You're selling the pain of the body part that they're working on. If you get hit with a damn power bomb from the top rope and you're like, ow, my fucking back, that is selling, kids. It's not selling. Ow. Bumping.
Yeah.
They
The
also
fuck,
don't
man?
understand like adrenaline and like, yeah, but they don't clearly don't watch any real combat sports because the amount of times I've seen people get knocked down where they should be completely out and they immediately get back up and have that boost of adrenaline and manage to hit a few moves. It's fucking crazy. But they think
Yeah.
that because Ospreay doesn't stay down for an hour after he gets hit by MJF that he's not selling. They can fuck off.
Yeah, the claim that wrestling should look real annoys me. No, it shouldn't look real. It should look good.
I know.
If anyone's seen someone have a real fight, it's two drunk blokes tripping over the bin, windmilling at each other. One of them throws up on a pigeon while a woman in the back screams, "Leave it, Derek, he's not worth it." It's not. Real fights aren't entertaining. Brett didn't make it look real. He made it look good.
There's lots of bins and pigeons in Cumbria, aren't there?
There's a lot of bins and pigeons. A lot of fucking pigeons on my backfield fighting with the geese right now.
So are you telling me that you've never seen someone hit a fucking catapult in the street?
And have bounced back
and the person
and run towards them.
and the person's legs haven't just like bent and they've just stayed on the floor and on what you're doing. They've actually stayed rigid to the point they've got the leverage and flown through the air behind them, full body in fucking plank mode into a fucking wall. No.
I have seen it.
don't believe
However,
that.
they were like 8 pints in and had recently decided who was going to be Hulk Hogan and who was going to be Macho Man. They were playing wrestling.
I don't think Hogan or Andre hit like whatever it was, leapfrogs,
No.
catapults.
They didn't hit much, but
There's so many moves like that are awesome that we all love to see that are so fucking fake. But people don't whinge about them, yet they'll whinge about someone not selling it. Like there's a certain dickhead out there who says that he will not review matches if someone gets back up after a tombstone pile driver, if that isn't the end of the match.
who's that?
For me, now
Some
I
twat
think
who writes in typewriter font. He's just
no, it's
absolutely
not even that guy. It's
it
a guy who some people claim would be on the best tag teams of all time list, but it's actually laughable. But he, on a radio show that he's on, says that if a tombstone pile driver isn't the finish, he will not review the match. Please, this is a call to every wrestler. Please, just do a tombstone pile driver at some point in the match. Do it early on,
just
early on,
lock
kick
up,
out,
just
and then
hit a
carry on.
tombstone.
And please, you'll save us all from his fucking mindless bullshit.
But there is also a cunt who writes in a typewriter font, who writes about
he's
4
annoyed.
pages worth of essays saying about how Kenny Omega doesn't sell and Ospreay doesn't sell, and he prefers to see
Wasn't Kenny
them.
just selling an internal hemorrhage?
Kenny
recently?
doesn't
he
move
prefers
him.
to-
That was
he
the
prefers
last
to
one.
watch matches where they're all they're doing is just headlocks and arm bars. And I'm sorry, but that's like the most boring shit in the world. It's okay for like rest spots. I'm okay for it if you're trying to sell an injury and like prolong like working a body part and things like that. But like 25 minutes of like mat-based submission wrestling sounds like dull as dishwater. I'd rather, to be honest.
It was his last one was an essay on the fact that Kenny doesn't move you, isn't he? I'm sorry.
Kenny Omega moves me more than most people in the world.
Yeah, it's Kenny fucking
Moves me.
Omega.
Were,
I
were
just
I
you,
don't know who we're talking about here, but whoever it is, no, Kenny is.
were you not moved at the end of that Omega and Okada
Oh,
segment.
mate, honestly.
No, I was stressed to hell. Stop
Bro,
doing
listen,
that.
listen. Can I
Stop.
just say something real quick?
Stop.
No.
No.
Go ahead.
Before we get onto AEW, I have one more thing, and then we can move on. Is that all right?
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
How
Nick.
excited are we all? I'll go around for the new tag team that's going to debut in WWE and is going to get they're going to be the biggest merch sellers of all time. They're going to be on every show. They'll probably stick the tag belts on them of Mr. fucking Lizard Man and Danhausen. Because that's clearly going to happen in about a month or two, whenever his contract's up. Lizard Man and Iguana Man and Danhausen.
I don't know.
That's going to be the team. They love this fucking shit.
Yeah.
See, you're going to disagree with me here again, but I really like Danhausen. I do think they misused him.
I don't
I think they could have done a lot more with Danhausen than they did.
The thing
I wish
is, as
if they
well,
did Dark Danhausen, yeah, but I just don't think Danhausen as Danhausen that he was doing works in AEW. That when he did Dark Danhausen for one thing, I actually enjoyed that, and it was good. They should have stuck with it, but for some reason it didn't. And whatever's happened outside, but he's gone anyway. That's what my point is. He's gone, and he's going to be him and Mr. Lizard Man are going to be the fucking big merch movers now.
The thing is as well with Danhausen, again, I don't know the guy and I've got nothing against him personally, but what became apparent is because he was best friends with Mr. Saudi Arabia, he just immediately became like so anti-AEW when he was injured, and he just started liking all anti-AEW tweets from all the grifters and all the engagement farmers, and that, I'm sorry, but like that's, I mean, I'm not like saying you should be pro company, if against like a worker for any, by any means, because that's like not what I'm about. But even so, like you're just trying to get yourself fired now. And they brought him back for one night in Ring of Honor. Was it at Final Battle? Was it?
Yeah, I was there.
And then then they haven't used him again. So like, what's the point if you don't intend to keep him? Just fuck him off, because he does nothing for me personally. Like
He'd be gone. I like I say, I enjoyed his Dark Danhausen character. I wish he'd stuck with that a bit, because the comedy one had run its course, and it just doesn't work in it just doesn't work in the environment in AEW, the style of TV show. I think ironically, like if he goes to WWE, which he clearly will do, I think he'll be huge. Like he will sell so much. I mean, you seen how they like the Lizard Man, the dude from V, when he turned up with his little puppet, they were fucking loving him. Like within seconds of seeing him, he's like the biggest fucking merch mover there. Like, they're getting him straight on the main roster, aren't they? That's why there's all those memes now of Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry and the Toy Story meme of, I don't want to play with you anymore. I've got the fucking lizard dude.
No more.
when Woody's having the dream, when he's got the busted arm. Yeah.
No, that's why Joe Hendry was so successful, though, because they love that kind of shit, that the fan base loves the kind of meme stuff.
It's just the meme wrestlers, yeah.
Fair play to him, like, it's...
They do have a younger audience, I think they aim a lot more towards kids than AEW.
The TikTok generation. That's all it is. People who can just pay attention to short bursts.
Yeah, I think you said
kids.
that last time, actually, yeah, and it is right, because, like, when you see how much they love the lizard dude.
Cat.
More cats. Every week there seems to be a
More
cat
cats.
on the podcast. Like, we are...
I'm going to have my rats on
The
one week.
group,
For anyone
yeah.
who doesn't know, I have 6 pet rats named after wrestling tag teams.
The Outrunners.
So I should. 2 of them are Turbo and Magnum. There's also Matt and Nick and Cash and Dax.
Respect.
So I should have them on. I can have one on my shoulder.
I'd
or-
watch that trios, man. I'd watch that triple threat tag. I'd like that.
Yeah, I would.
That'd be fun.
But speaking of the Outrunners and merch, have you seen their t-shirts? Sold
It's
out?
amazing. It's so nice, yeah.
It's got
Oh,
it's sold out. Same
Yeah.
with the Bandito mask.
yes.
Noel's got one.
I am aware. I am getting it. Like, everybody can calm down now. I got tagged in about 10 tweets. Or
Yeah, I was like,
I am aware.
When you said Mr. Saudi Arabia a minute ago, Dan, it gave me a great idea for an angle. Like, what if CM Punk doesn't go? Yeah, any of you ever remember the Hulk Hogan Mr. America gimmick? What if he doesn't go and he comes back as Mr. Saudi Arabia?
Fine.
Triple H could do a lie
love
detector
that.
test with him and everything. He'd fail on all of them, actually. But, like, he could do a lie detector test with him, and he could be, I'm not Mr. Saudi Arabia. I'm not CM Punk. I'm Mr. Saudi Arabia, with his fucking flag and his sword and everything.
Mr. Saudi Arabia, are you CM Punk? No. Ding.
Mr. Saudi Arabia, do you care about workers' rights? No. Oh, fuck it,
Mr.
it's
Saudi
CM Punk.
Arabia, are you scared of real glass? No. Ding.
I do feel like at some point Eddie Kingston is going to come back. Eddie Kingston is going to have a microphone.
Yes, I
and
cannot
all
wait.
he's going to do is go,
I'm so
bitches, I
excited.
fucking said. and leave. This is one time I wish Max Caster was still rapping.
Oh, yeah.
I hope he
That
brings
would
back.
have been
I hope he just brings it
amazing.
back just one week when
Just once.
when it's on
I
the
think
Saudi
he will,
show.
won't he? At some point,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
You know what's probably
going
to happen is that like Bowens. Okay, I like Bowens a lot. I think he's
a heel.
He's great.
I love Bowen.
He's a heel.
But I think
Bowens?
He's the heel in all this. He's the heel in all this. That's my theory all along. He's the real fucking heel. He's come back with a Mr. Perfect gimmick. I'm the best at this. I'm the best at that. I'm the best. Look at me throw a fucking
And
basketball
Mr.
over
Perfect
me
is
head.
the greatest wrestler of all time.
Yeah, no, but I mean he's a heel. Like, and Bowens. But if Bowens, if they do push this and they turn to him, actually, he actually is the heel, and he was the fucking the
orchestrator. Of
yeah,
the
and
breakup,
not he was the at fault for a lot of the things Caster got blamed for, and they go push Caster face. I'll be fucking loving that because that'd be so
I mean,
good.
Max Caster is getting over, but Bowens. Whilst I like him, I'm not sure his gimmick's like hitting yet. But even so, like
I love
the more
Bowens,
he.
but I'd love
I
to
love
see
him
him
too.
I want him as the next
I love him
champ.
too, but I think what
Say
I
go for that.
think's going to happen is that they're going to sort of do their separate thing for like a little while, but they are going to bring them back together and they are going to find some mutual ground. But I now you said that, I hope that there's. Yeah, we get a Max Caster face run because he's killing this at the moment. Like I'm
Let's
so
go,
into
Max.
what
You're
he's
the
doing.
best
You're
wrestler
the best
alive.
wrestler alive. Does Max Caster understand that we are going to nail that chant in the UK, in Glasgow and in London?
No, he's just going to
Because
make some comment about our dental hygiene, and he's going to get booed
Yeah,
for a
and we'll
bit.
cheer.
But we'll cheer.
still
He
cheer.
makes us laugh. That's the problem. British people are good at two things. We can cue and we can chant. Like, we get the most ridiculous football chants over. We can chant entire fucking sonnets. We're the only people I've known could regularly get the "you're gonna get your fucking head kicked in" perfect.
Well,
We're gonna nail this for you, Caster. Just wait.
You must remember down the Big Bill reception. That guy was doing everything he could
That's
to get
true.
fucking heat, and we just
What
wouldn't
am I
give him
supposed to do?
it. Yeah.
I'm sure at least twice I saw Hook have to turn away because I'm sure the poor lad was creased, trying not to show that he was laughing. When we were cheering Big Bill, when we started chanting "We still love you" after he just yelled abuse at us,
Yeah,
I'm sure Hook had to hide his face because he was giggling.
If you remember, Jericho had to get on the mic and say something to try and piss the crowd off, and even then they just laughed and then started cheering
Yeah.
Big Bill again.
It's like
Cardiff, England.
we
Yeah,
like-
good one, mate. Come on, Big Bill. Yes.
I was at a show back in 2005. This is how long ago this was, and Raven was there. It was at the Doncaster Dome. It was one PW.
I
the
was there.
original Show.
I was there at that one. Was that
Were we both at the same show?
was that the
At
one
Doncaster?
when Ric Flair was there?
No.
He wasn't wrestling. He was doing a talk. It was a weekend, wasn't it? Was it the anniversary weekend?
No, I was at the first two.
Was
The very
Abyss?
first was Cruel Twist of Fate. Abyss was there. Brett was at the second one. No, the first one, the Sandman was there.
I'm sure. I was there.
You've told me this. You told me
I
this
went to
at
two
Eve
of
as
them.
well. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I went to two, but we were there, and Raven was there, and he came out. You might remember then, and he just started insulting the crowd, and we cheered every single thing he said. And at one point, he just started yelling things. At one point, he just went, "Fuck it, the color blue," and the entire crowd, yay! And everything he said, and he just played along with it. And the problem is with Big Bill, he acknowledged the crowd. As soon as you acknowledge us, we will not shut up. All you can do is ignore us. But yeah, as soon as he acknowledged us, we're
we
like,
can be
"He's
annoying."
aware of us. We love you, Bill. He could have yelled the color blue.
Speaking of getting chants over, there was something that happened at Eve, wasn't there? You know, that chant that I got over. Do you remember that?
The greatest moment of
What's
Dan's
what's this
life.
chant, Dan? Could you
So
explain it
okay,
to us, please?
I'll set the scene. So,
And what it means as well. What the
of course,
idea of
of
the chant
course.
is.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory when I explain it to you. But I mean, I'll do what I can. But no, for context, Lucy and I went to go watch Eve, Riot Girls of Wrestling. It was both of our first times going to the show. It was in London. It was in the Big Penny Social, which is basically just north of Walthamstow. It's in a bit of a industrial kind of area, but the venue itself's pretty cool. It's got a few cool snazzy like looking bars and stuff like that in there. You get some good like house IPAs and everything. So I was in my element. Anyway, get in there. It's quite intimate. We had standing tickets, so we were basically ringside, just basically by one of the corners. And there was only like a 4-match card, but it was sublime, wasn't it, Lucy? I mean, like the first match was a tag match featuring Pretty Psycho, which is the team of Amira Blair and Zoe Lucas versus Big Beefy Bitches, which is a team of Emerson Jane and Riho, who we are all fans of here on the podcast. I mean, we're fans of everybody on
Pretty
the
Psycho
show,
be at
to be honest with
TNT
you.
and TNT in July. Summer Explosion.
Well, yeah, and this is not long after the TNT show as well. So Emerson, fair play to her for sticking it out. But anyway, no, it's kind of slow start. Amira basically goads Emerson into basically like hitting her on the arse, basically. And then a few other comedy spots happen, each sort of very innuendo inspired. But there was one segment of the match when Amira gets sent into the corner. Emerson, basically Zoe Lucas throws Emerson into Amira, who's like prone on the corner. So Emerson, his head is sort of stuck here, and then Riho throws Zoe into Emerson's behind. They stay like that for a good minute, and then while
Amira's having the time of her life.
Amira was having a great time.
You want to see selling? Watch Amira.
Yeah, fully. It was absolutely
4-page
fantastic. Typewriter font. But no, what happened was Zoe had a little tantrum afterwards, screaming at Riho, saying, "You made me eat ass," and then me. Happened to jump on this opportunity, just basically started chanting, "You ate ass, you ate ass, you ate ass." And from that moment, I realised that I completed wrestling and I don't need to go to another show ever again because that chant is never going to happen.
Spread like wildfire. It was instant.
So I was very proud of that, and I feel like, I can safely say that will never be peaked.
Wrestling completed it, mate.
Basically.
What were the matches on the card, though? Because the event looked really
I've
good.
never been so proud.
Oh, mate, honestly, it was a superb show. Like that match was a very good way to start the crowd because all four of them were fantastic. And then it wasn't a match, but they had a segment between Sapphire Reed and Nina Samuels.
Can I stop you there and show possibly my favourite piece
That's the one.
of wrestling merch?
That's the shirt. Yeah, that's the shirt.
I own.
That's not an Outlands
This
t-shirt.
This is a Sapphire Reed shirt. I've owned this. I have worn and washed this so many times, and it's still immaculate. Whoever Sapphire Reed uses to make her merch, more wrestlers need to do it because isn't that absolutely stunning? I love it.
I saw a few of those shirts on the weekend, but no. So for context, Eve is an all women's promotion, and Will Ospreay is a co-producer. But the whole team is it's a very small team. It's very very much an independent show, but it is just absolutely fantastic show. But yes, no, please do. I was just sort of just for context for people who may not have heard of Eve before, because I loved it. It was the first time I went and really really enjoyed it. But you take over for a sec, Lucy. Go for it.
I just want to mention that Catherine, who is amazing, perfect earrings, love Catherine. She fed Will Ospreay the group's last donut. So for the entire night, I was staring forlornly at an empty box that once held Krispy Kreme donuts after Ospreay took the last one, stuffed half of it in his mouth and gleefully scampered off. So, if you do go to an Eve show, you might want to bring extra donuts if Will Ospreay is scavenging around ringside.
They're always going to be met with open greedy eyes. But no, to answer your question, Andy, like the other matches on the show, so after that tag match, we had the Sapphire Reed and Nina Samuels segment. They set up a match for the next show, which is Mean Girls in July. It's going to be some kind of some kind of like stakes where the loser leaves, or if Nina loses, she leaves, or something of that ilk, which kind of ties in. It's kind of a consistent theme that she's got going on with her feud in progress with Kanji, so I'm starting to think that something's afoot there. But no, they set that up. There wasn't a match, but there was just like a segment where there was they had a fight and they pulled them apart, and then they were selling that and feeding into the match. But then the one after that, before the halftime interval, was Lucia Lee against Anita Vaughn for the international title. That was wicked. It was very Anita kind of like was played like a real monster heel in this one. Lucia Lee was very much an underdog babyface. First time seeing either of them like in a singles match live, so really decent. I liked it.
Lucia Lee's excellent.
She really is, and she was rocking the Wolves kit as well, which I appreciated as a Midlands girl. So I'm thinking she's probably a Wolves girl. But no, there was some kind of suspicion that she picked up like a little bit of a knock, but turns out she was actually okay by all accounts. So that's good news because I liked what I saw. But then they set up the big talking point after that was the Anita basically saying, "I am international. I want like international talent." And and I want to actually be international. And then that brought out, well, basically me losing my absolute shit when I saw the entrance video of one Chris Statlander. Well, no, but me especially. Like I think I hit the ceiling. I'm pretty sure.
As soon as that went live, that announcement, everyone lost the fucking shit. The internet went
but
crazy.
honestly, but you should have seen me like in the venue, because I hit my foot on, rather shamedly, basically a wheelchair wheel, and like it had the brakes on, so I didn't cause any trouble. But I walked into it, and because I was moving so fast, I actually ended up with like a bruised like foot. Nothing to complain about really, but that's how gassed I was. So when I saw that Chris Statlander was going to be coming to Eve, so I basically, as soon as I got back, I bought my tickets for.
This is standing room. It was like being in a mosh pit. There wasn't that many of us, but sweaty, sweary, springy Dan was managing to be everywhere, bouncing around. We were all really excited, screaming our heads off. People were hugging each other. It was absolutely. It was the best moment of the night so far.
Yeah, for the first half.
Yeah.
For the first half, and then the second half happened. But then, so I'll quickly get to the penultimate match. Well, bear in mind also at Eve they have like interim like burlesque shows. So when people, usually between matches, they have like an MC. Like a drag queen, and then they have like a couple of burlesque performers doing like solo shows, just so people can go to the toilet, get a drink, whatever else, between the show. That's why there's not many matches on the cards. But the penultimate one was like a massive 8-woman tag, which was Nightshade, who's the current champion, Rain Leverkusen, Session Moth, and Sky Smithson versus the heels of one Lucy Sky. And by the way, Lucy, thank you for buying me the Lucy Deathmatch t-shirt, because it fits like a glove and it's really, really soft. So again, I appreciate it. Love the shirt. Alexis Falcon, Millie McKenzie, and debuting Bozilla, Bozilla's first time in Eve. It was cracking. It was pretty much everything you'd see on like a Collision, like 8-person tag. It was just full of mayhem, full of chaos, full of a bit of comedy here and there. But Bozilla's a fucking beast, man. Like she's terrifying. I wouldn't cross her off. You know what I mean? I would not want to upset her at all. Genuinely so good. Very good fun. The heel team won, and Lucy Sky actually very unashamedly showed us the cut that she suffered from TNT a few days before that. She was showing us on her phone. And I was like, "Oh my god!"
She was showing us after the event. It was like, it was nasty. I think she had it glued or stapled or something, didn't she?
Yeah.
Fuck knows. Not trying to offend any wrestlers watching, but there is something very wrong with each and every one of you, you mad bastards. They're all insane.
Wrestling's a form of therapy. If you want to get hit with aluminium cans like Session Moth and Lucy Sky did, then hey, you know what? I'm not one to judge. I'm not one to therapy shame or kink shame.
I am judging.
So, but
I love watching them.
But it's only fair, Lucy, just to round off the stuff about Eve, because I could talk all night about this. I'll let you talk about the main event. So why don't you take over?
Okay, the main event was for the women of the IWGP, the New Japan Women's title. It was Syuri and Alex Windsor. I have never seen Syuri wrestle live before, and I was absolutely blown away.
Me too.
I know people use the word aura a lot, but my God, she was absolutely incredible. From the second she walked in, I was absolutely smitten. It takes a lot for anything to draw my attention away from Alex Windsor, but she managed it, and she did pick up the win. It was an absolutely phenomenal match. Probably the best match I've seen live this year. It's a match of the year candidate. If you haven't seen it, you have got to check it out. I've gone down a little bit of a Syuri rabbit hole checking out like some of her other matches, but I'm gonna carry on doing that. However, the big moment came at the end. Actually, I would like to take this opportunity to issue an apology for sharing false information. So I know a few times over the last few years I have mentioned that Alex Windsor is the best independent wrestler in the world. And I do stand by those statements. However, when I shared this same information last Friday during the Eve show, I was not in possession of all the facts. So I do apologise. And I would like to clarify. I was wrong. Alex Windsor is not the best independent wrestler in the world. She is now the best elite wrestler in the world. Okay? So, but, like, being serious though, you do need to check out the match.
Yeah.
It's on the Eve YouTube channel. You can it's for subscribers. You can watch the whole show there. It won't fully prepare you for the sheer fucking brilliance you're about to see in AEW, but it'll give you an idea of why Alex Windsor is my favorite wrestler in the world. She just is. It's not even close. You know, I like a lot of wrestlers. My absolute favorite, without question, is Alex Windsor. So, yeah, check her out and fucking brace yourself because, iron-willed Alex Windsor is all elite, and she announced it at the end of that show. She says, I belong where the best wrestle.
Yeah, and it was very poignant as well, like, just to interject, like, it was very beautiful in a sense because, like, she's worked her ass off, like, for a long time on the indies, and she's getting her calling. And people can say, oh, well, Ospreay probably has something to do with it, but fuck it, like, I don't you know, take that out of the equation. Whether Ospreay, you know, persuaded someone or not, it doesn't matter because she deserves it. Like she's one of those wrestlers who's like, you know, put absolutely everything into every match she's been in. I haven't seen a bad Alex Windsor match like live before. That was probably the best one. And yeah, obviously, I'm quite glad that I was there for the moment when she actually made the announcement because the crowd was chanting like AE dub, and I could see a few people were like, you know, probably, you know, a few people were crying, like a few people were just very emotional. We were hugging a lot. We hugged like everyone was hugging 4 or 5 times. It was just, it was a beautiful moment. Like it really, really was, and that's what indie wrestling is kind of all about. Just, you know, preparing you for that next step when you do get like the call and when you do get that opportunity, you know, whether it's AEW, whether it's the Fed, you know, ultimately I can't begrudge anybody, you know, for wanting to sort of hit the big time. And that's another thing. It's like what I was echoing throughout the past like week, seemingly nonstop, was about how it's great that Ospreay is a part of that sort of family where he is still giving back to the scene, and he's still because he is very much like one of AEW's like top stars, you know, but he's still regularly coming in and just helping out with these Eve shows in creative, in production, and in all sorts, in setting up, breaking stuff down, everything, and that means a lot.
The whole night he was working. He's not work shy at all. He was like taking gear. He was clearing streamers, running around the. He was working just as hard as anyone else. So
I remember when
I
remember when Gav and Dale went to one earlier in the year, and they messaged me going, "Oh God, Ospreay's here. We just seen him." And I was like, "Oh, did you get a picture?" And no, he's busy working. He's putting chairs out and cleaning. And
yeah, he obviously believes in it as its own promotion.
It's just passion,
you know?
isn't it? Yeah, he's just like the passion he has for British wrestling is fucking incredible. It really is. Like he's not one of these guys who would kind of, you know, he's made it big now. Fuck you. He seems to be still really invested in giving back to the sport and you know, growing the sport and doing what he can. And like he's almost taken the Jericho mantle up for GoFundMe's. You know, whenever the GoFundMe now for a wrestler, Will Ospreay's name's always at the top of the list. The work he's putting in, it's just passion, and it's fucking brilliant. I love it.
What was really great as well,
the pride of British wrestling, I think.
Yeah, he is.
He 100% is.
Will Ospreay is absolutely incredible. I love him. However, anybody that tries to claim Alex Windsor is getting where she is because of her relationship with Will Ospreay can get in the fucking bin. Look, as far as I'm concerned, Will Ospreay is Mr. Alex Windsor.
At the end of the day, like there may be an element of that it's been sped up because of Ospreay's, you know, position and Tony Khan and all that. They may not, but who gives a fuck? She deserves to be there, so it doesn't fucking matter. It's the same as what I was saying last week about there may be an element of people who are watching Eve because they've heard about Will Ospreay and he's pushing it and all that. So fucking what? Once they fucking watch it, they'll be watching it for everything else, not because Will Ospreay, he's not even fucking wrestling. So you know, if someone by chance has caught some of Alex Windsor's stuff because of Will Ospreay, great. Brilliant, you know. It doesn't fucking matter. The bottom line is, once they watch her, they'll understand why she's fucking so highly rated by everyone who sees her.
Watch that match. You'll know why they want her. She's been elite as long as All Elite's been a thing.
But I'd recommend it.
Firstly, I was surprised that they after mentioning that nothing's been mentioned since with AEW. I thought they might have mentioned something. Maybe she's got a few more dates to fulfill, or maybe they're just waiting for things to
she said it's her last indie match
for a while, but I'm guessing that they're like planning a few to bring her in.
It could be, or it could also be visa related. It could be that.
Actually, yeah. I just thought they might have announced it, but it brings me into into an agenda at the moment, really, because like I went to a show this last weekend, Infinite Promotions in Liverpool. It was my birthday, so we went. Yeah, a couple of drinks, watched the wrestling. It was great. Some great matches on there. I won't go through the entire card, but we talk about wrestlers we think may be leaving for whatever reason. The main event was Luke Jacobs against Joey Hayes. It was a fucking incredible match, and Joey Hayes got the win. And I did not think this was a dusty finish, because I was like, fuck it, but Luke Jacobs is destined for bigger things, that maybe they're taking the title off him. But no, it was a foot under the rope. Referee comes back, restarts the match. Luke Jacobs gets the win and just fucking demolishes him. It was an incredible match. The selling from Joey Hayes was fantastic. The first match of the card was Rob Drake against Ethan Allen, which was one of the best opening matches I've seen in a long time. He just beat the living shit out of each other. I won't go through the entire card, but some great wrestlers on there. Scott Oldman was on there wearing Everton shit, so he can get to fuck. Critchy and Tom McCall came. You won't know the story, but there's a guy that people chant chicken fried rice to. Unless you get been to the show, no one will get it. It's because of a meme or something. And he's brilliant, Mickey Barnes, and he came out and no one said a thing. And then Critchy and Tom McCall came out to the music that goes with this meme. And the guy just started playing up to the crowd. I don't like chicken fried rice. And he's going up to kids going, this is giving me mental problems. I'm not sleeping. Honestly, he's excellent. I can't get over how good he is. But anyway, my point was, coming back around to this, I've just swiped my camera, is that the agenda should be that everyone should have now that Alex Windsor is no longer an independent wrestler. Is who is going to take the belt off Mercedes Moné? It should be Lizzie Evo. And she was on at the show against Melissa Fierce. It was a really good match. Melissa Fierce was really good, really impressive. The first time I'd seen her. But Lizzie Evo was fucking fantastic. I think we all agree she's the most underrated wrestler in the country. And I think they needs to start now. The movement. Lizzie Evo has to be the one to beat Mercedes Moné for the Rev Pro title.
She's fighting Serena Deeb at Rev Pro this weekend in the British J-Cup, which should be fucking a banger. But she should win that, and then she should, after that, say, Mercedes, get over here now. I'm taking that title off you, and she should win.
Like, she should call Mercedes a rat.
Yeah,
at least
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I adore Lizzie Evo.
I really.
She's...
Sorry, go on.
I'm just saying there's definitely a conversation for her to be the best, I'd say, female independent wrestler right now. I think overall best independent wrestler, I'd give it to Oku, but now Windsor's been signed. But Lizzie is, she's the most underrated wrestler in the country.
100%.
Absolutely. And could you imagine her yelling at Mercedes Moné, the Mercedes face, when presented with Lizzie Evo?
Honestly,
yelling at her in the full accent.
Scout slang being thrown at her.
Not a clue what she's saying.
Absolutely, yeah. You just watch Mercedes' confusion.
You think Tony Storm's fucking weird?
It would be amazing, and as we've said, she can go in the ring. She's fucking brilliant and highly underrated. Probably Scout tax, if we're being honest, but whatever.
100%.
But that's what we're all about now. That's got to happen. That's the way forward for Rev Pro, in my humble opinion. It's the best solution, and because Kanji would have been in the mix for me, but she's lost.
She's had the match.
We can't
already,
go back to that. She's got the rub. It's time for someone else to get the rub now from Mercedes.
And
let's go.
And anyway, I think Kanji is with. After this sort of feud with Nina Samuels culminates at the end of the month, I think she should be in line for the Progress title, like the Progress Women's title. She should be, in that conversation. Not yet. I don't think. I think towards the end of the year, I wouldn't be upset if she beat Rio for the title, like later on in the year,
her in the mix.
Or maybe early next year.
I'd love her in the mix for the Pure title, the Ring of Honor.
Mate, honestly,
that she would fit that so fucking well.
She would,
Oh, God, yeah. But another look, if we can't before we move on, if we can't have Lizzie Evo against Mercedes, give me Lana Austin against Mercedes, because that would just be gold.
Again.
She's like,
we're seeing Lana. She's been announced at Progress. Have you seen for the Pick Your Poison? She's
Oh, that's another thing. On the Pick Your Poison, so Kanji chose Shotzi Blackheart to face Nina Samuels in Manchester. So Do we
Same
want
Shotzi.
to? Do we, can we just, obviously, I'm not going to lie. I was never always the biggest fan of Shotzi, like in the Fed and stuff like that. But I watched some clips from like her match over in GCW over the weekend, and it was
I watched
fucking
it live.
insane.
It was good.
God, yeah, she's a different
Ridiculous.
beast now.
I think I said the same. It's like after the match, like it's incredible when you see these people off the leash and not under the constraints they've been under for so long in a company that they've been in for so long, and the fact that they've got so much more, like in the in the locker really, and it's incredible. I mean, we had the same thing with AEW as well. The same situation with Bear Bronson, who was always
He had his hardcore death match, didn't he?
he's always come across as such a nice fella as well. I was absolutely gutted when he suffered because of the whole thing with his tag partner, and as he said since, maybe he'd got comfortable because they were never seen as anything more than enhancement talent in AEW, and he was happy with that. He was just plodding along. So maybe this is a kick up the arse for him that he's going to benefit from, hopefully, because if his first match is anything to go by, God, that guy's going to be booked through the fucking roof.
Oh, yeah.
Both him and Shotzi seem like they're going to be making serious money from this. Fair play to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Indies
And
are a legit place to make money now. It's absolutely fantastic.
But
I mean, who could have imagined this 20 years ago?
Did you see someone trying to have a dig at her on a whatever it was? I can't remember. She posted a screenshot of it, or somebody else did, where they're saying, "Oh, why would you leave big money at the Fed for this?"
she didn't leave.
No, but it was I can't remember how they worded it, but they said something like that, and she's like, "I've made more in 2 dates in the last 2 days than I would make in a week over there." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fair play for telling it like it is. Absolutely.
And I can't wait to meet her. The meet and greets were sold out at Progress, but I think they might have added more.
Matt Cardona was
they
an
didn't.
example for everybody when he did what he's done on the indie scene.
100%.
That guy, what he did is just phenomenal. And he's an example to everyone that if they really want to reinvent themselves and grasp the opportunities, they can do.
And
Absolutely.
I know he's keen to go back, but I mean, that's not always the worst. Look at Cody. He went off, did all of it himself, went back, and
My only thing with
but you don't have to.
my only thing with Cardona is he'd go back as Zack Ryder because they have this stupid fucking name thing, and I hate that.
You would.
It's a shame because
would.
he'd fit really well there, just his style, and he's a Fed. He fits in the Fed perfectly, but whatever, the stuff he's doing on the indies is great. Speaking of indies, have you seen Richard Holiday's match card he's putting together?
He's looking
yeah,
good.
he's got Diona Pratzos.
He's got Diana. He's got.
Did you
else.
see how he announced
I
it all?
have a
Oh yeah,
Diona
they're a
Purrazzo
narcissist. They're a
was very
narcissist.
No, I mean before, like for 24 hours, he said, "I'm going to announce one of the best wrestlers in the entire world," and people are speculating and everything. And he announced it, and he really went in on the fact that he said, "No, she is." He said, "I believe she is one of the best in the world." I was like, "Yes, get in," because she is brilliant. And like for whatever reason, we haven't seen that in AEW much. So hopefully it'll give her a bit more of a platform to push back into the into contention with.
It's one thing. I think that again, because we could talk about the WBD influence on like the women's time on AEW each week and everything, and
Well,
I
it was all right
want to
this
see
week.
more. But well, yeah, it was all right this week. Yeah, I'll give them that. But that was a 4-hour show though. But
So was last week.
they only had. How many did they have last? But the point I was going to make really quickly was about how Diana is also, I believe she's studying. So I think, I don't want to make assumptions, but I believe Tony's being more lenient with her time and giving her extended time away so she can study and get her qualifications that she wants.
I think that's the case
as well.
But like even so, the match
if she wasn't, I think she would be on TV a lot more if she wasn't like studying and stuff.
Even so, though, the matches she had, like I mean, like I'm a fan, but like you got to admit the matches she'd had before she stopped being on TV, they weren't great. They weren't among the stuff that we know she could do, that we've seen her do.
No,
it was very, and there wasn't much time as well. A lot of it felt very thrown together just for the sake of getting someone on TV. I'd like to see her in a proper feud. Because she is great. Like the stuff she was doing before AEW was incredible, and early AEW stuff was very good. So hopefully when she does come back and get back into it. But anyway, this card looks great. He's added Hammerstone as well, which Richard he's left the Indies. He said he's no more. Well, he's left GCW. He's no more GCW dates. He's done with GCW. He's doing his own show. Are we getting Dynasty? Is it happening?
We've got to.
It's weird because the Hurt Syndicate are heels now. because someone made a really good point, like because they were really getting over as baby faces, and I thought they would ride that wave and they would carry it on, but they've really driven home MJF's influence now, and they're sticking to heel. So if you're gonna have MJF, unless you're gonna turn MJF babyface and debut him with his new grow. Well,
you have to be careful because MJF can accidentally turn himself babyface.
He's so good, isn't he?
He's fantastic.
Likable.
I think
we're watching
the when he was wearing MVP singlet, I creased up. Honestly, man, it was so funny. But
yes. And I liked it. Everyone's like, "Oh, what's he wearing?" I think he looks bloody good.
It was hilarious.
We had seen him in that many clothes.
I think people who are complaining that, "Oh, what's this like?" Are these kids under the age of 20 years old that don't?
Yeah, they don't know who MVP is.
In WWE.
He wore it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's worn this in AEW. What are you guys talking? He's clearly paying homage to MVP, and I love the fact that he did the balling and he missed the elbow drop. Of course, he has to miss the elbow drop. But,
my favorite thing on that is
good.
that in kayfabe, MJF snuck into the arena with super glue and duct tape and put the flag up and stuffed all the streamers in, giggling, and then snuck all the way back. He's like, "This is going to be great. Just wait."
4-hour essay.
And I've loved. Yeah, I don't even know this reference. I'm gonna just. They're talking.
No, you don't.
Honestly,
you don't.
Just don't want to know. Yeah.
But one of the things I've absolutely loved is we talk about MJF can accidentally become a babyface because he's
just so
likable
good
little
at
twat.
He's so good at what he does, though.
Watching Bobby Lashley reluctantly be charmed by him, like oh god, he's adorable. Fuck, he's like some little puppy that will occasionally bite you on the arse and piss on your floor, but he's still a little puppy and he's still kind of adorable. He's still our scumbag. I think they've got to be careful or we'll turn MJF face again. We do it like that.
Other than Hangman, he is probably my favourite in the world at the moment. Like, I'm so entertained every time he's on screen. Like, he can do comedy, he can do serious, he can do babyface, he can do heel. It's everything he does is just gold. And he's only 27 years old. It's fucking ridiculous.
They got
He's a baby.
They like to give him shit for the period when he was face, and people go, "Oh, it was too fed like." It was fun. It wasn't fed like. It wasn't fed like at all. It was fun. There was still good matches. There was a bit of stupidness towards the end when Cole got injured and they were just padding it out clearly. But like that year, watching MJF was some of the most fun I've had watching wrestling. It was incredible. He had the crowd.
Better than New Baby was amazing.
He had the crowd in the palm of his hand, didn't he? Like everything. Like no one with double clothesline. It was incredible. I mean,
kangaroo
kick.
The match with the Righteous when he was basically doing the Hulk Hogan Andre the Giant thing for the entire match, like can he slam him? And it was so fucking good. And then the week
simple,
after, talking about how
in the palm of his hand every single time.
And the week after,
it was like 90,000 people.
Yeah, that's what it was. And
every
time he commented on it, he increased it by 5,000. It was excellent. Like I wouldn't say no to a face MJF run. The only negative I would say about it now is I feel like it's too soon after the last one. But at some point, give it to me, please, because it's
There is another title, aren't they saying that this new unified title?
I hope not.
Can we move on to that?
I've seen it, I hope it's not.
They're saying that this is going to be.
So the theory that I had was if they're going to make this unified title after All In, if they're going to make that like a top title, obviously the TNT's like the tertiary title anyway. So are they then gonna do like a title where like the unified one is on Collision and then the world title is on Dynamite? Because I don't want it to be like that.
I
saw some people talking about
that. I would say kind of keep the spirit of what the international title is right now. Like it's the workers title, it's the fighters title, and like I said, whether it's Okada or Omega who wins at All In, we can already have like a list of guys like fighters like who are ready to go. For that title, you don't need that long drawn out story to fight for. That's how like the world heavyweight title is right now between Hangman and Mox and the Elite and the Death Riders. It's pretty much like think of a shonen anime where it doesn't need that much story, but we're getting straight into the 10 episode fights and whatnot. That's what the unified title can be. If you keep that spirit, make it think like it's the fighting spirit title in a sense. I'd be fine if they push the title that way because it would distinct it's in its own lane. Like this is this is the workers' title. This is the fighters' title right here. And the world heavyweight title, like I said, Hangman and Mox, like that's your long drawn out like scene right there.
Everybody's end goal in AEW should still be the world title. That should be everyone's dream. The top prize for everybody. Even if they've got this undisputed title, they should want the world title as well. For me, I'd still have it as the secondary. The essentially the Intercontinental title. The best of the rest kind of title for me. Just below that,
the next step up, like
that's
the next step down.
That's your litmus test right there. That's what the Intercontinental title used to be back in the day. Like remember, Shawn, Brett, Austin, Triple H, Rock. They ran with the Intercontinental title. They passed the test, and then they moved up to the World Heavyweight title. See, make that belt so whoever, let's say, beats Omega or Okada for that belt in the future, that's their test run right there to see if they pass the test.
Carl Fletcher.
Well, gotta be,
hold on, wait, Ricochet.
I wouldn't say no to
anyone.
that.
I know.
But MJF, that was the
MJF's already in the world title.
MJF would find a way around that anyway. He'd look for a way directly to the main title rather than that. I mean, that's just character-wise.
See, you're talking about it as like the old Intercontinental. I see it more as, do you remember what the X Division used to be when it was a huge deal?
Be, yeah.
It was the banger title.
Well, for me,
where the best wrestle for the,
For me, it's kind of like the IWGP Intercontinental one, where basically at times that would be on par with the world title, because there was one Wrestle Kingdom. Mike, you'll probably be able to tell me which one it was specifically, but there was one Wrestle Kingdom when the Intercontinental title was actually the main event. The match that Nakamura had was after the one that Okada had for the World Heavyweight title, because I think there was a fan vote and fans wanted to see the Intercontinental title main event, because at the time, before they unified them, they were kind of like on somewhat of an even playing field. Then the World Heavyweight title was pushed a bit more heavily, and after that, but for a while, like a couple of years, they were basically on an equal playing field. So to me, it feels like because they're very influenced by New Japan, like not only with this feud, but also like with like how they introduce titles and stuff like that and things like that.
But speaking of title, are they renaming the Continental Classic then?
Well,
that was for the Continental title.
That's what I was going to say.
What
I think will happen is I think we get the undisputed title, but then I think that's only the undisputed title.
Unified title.
Unified title. Sorry, I think that's only the unified title until November. I feel at that point somebody else is going to win the Continental Classic, and it should just go back to being the international title for me. That's what I would do, because but not give a title for the Continental Classic though. Give a trophy now. No. They should just say
the title shot for
the belt stays the same. Call it like whatever they want, but not the.
No,
the
I say
unified.
no more belt. No more belt. I say this match, it's unifying. It's title for title. Both belts, international and Continental, is aside. Just unified, and Continental Classic comes just a trophy. That's
what I mean. No more belts. Definitely no more belts. But what I mean is like it's no longer like it's unified, but it's just a title. It's not two titles anymore. It's not going to be two. It's not going to be six. It's not going to signify the winner of the Continental Classic. It's literally just going to be the title for something else. I don't know. The Continental Classic should get its own trophy now from now on, with a title shot at some point. Whether they want to do that for Full Gear or whatever, it doesn't fucking matter, just a title shot of the choice.
Just because have the C2 finals at World's End, the winner gets a title shot at Revolution. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
It seems dead simple for that. And then
I would do that.
3-month build, because remember, World's End and then Revolution is always March. I mean, remember, Tony always has like a couple of TV specials mixed in between then, because we had like Maximum Carnage.
We had like
January.
Grand Slam Australia, and then you had like. Then obviously there's Wrestle Kingdom around that time as well, like the like straight after World's End, basically.
Fucking Grand Slam Mexico next week.
Oh,
yes,
mate,
2.5 hours next week.
We've
have
you seen the card?
We've hardly talked about last night's show, and we've actually got so much to talk about. This is not fair. The card looks amazing.
Right, well,
Sin Cara's going to be... I mean, Mr. Cole's going to be fucking great next week. He's going to fucking kill him, isn't he? MJF's going to lose. He's got to lose after that. And they can't...
Yes.
Like
God, he's going to kill him.
There's no way people will be happy with AEW doing a show in Mexico and MJF going over Mexico. It's not happening. He's going to kill him. I suspect... My theory is that it will be some kind of miscommunication from the Hurt Syndicate.
That's when we start to see the cracks form.
Exactly. Yeah, because we don't forget, we've still got to find out what the fuck they signed. They got interrupted when MJF said, "I am now the and then interrupted. We still don't know what the fuck they sang because, in kayfabe, they haven't looked at any of this. They've just gone, oh yeah, whatever. No one's gone, hang on, what the fuck was he about to say?
Let's trust MJF. He doesn't say
unless the other theory that we've spoke about in the past is, what if whatever he's doing, MVP's in on it with him? And that could be
MVP,
why he wore his gear yesterday.
Turn on Benjamin.
It was both of their lawyers. Remember, MVP bought the lawyer. That was MJ, and MJF obviously bought Mark Sterling.
He had the greatest lawyer of all time outside of Phoenix Wright, Mark Sterling.
Yeah, he had Frank Mortos, did he? I don't remember that. I don't remember him having Frank Morton.
Harvey Birdman on the case as well, but I'd still take Mark Sterling, to be honest. He's a fucking genius. I love Mark Sterling. He's excellent. I could watch him on TV every week.
Grand Slam Mexico looks fucking mad, though. Like,
we got a Toni Storm match, didn't we?
Did we?
She, yeah, didn't she?
I've only seen like the first 2 hours.
We got a steak that was actually, looked like it was medium rare. Looks like Mercedes got a fucking decent chef in this time.
I didn't see any medium in there. That looked rare. I'm saying, like, you got to make sure was it alive? You gotta stab it like it looked like it was still alive.
Mercedes had obviously been listening to us last week.
We need to tag Lucy Sky.
Oh god,
in a picture of it. This is how.
Yeah, she won't be happy with that. and she had asparagus and sprouts. It's like a very nice meal, but to sit there trying to eat this steak while you're watching a Toni Storm match, fair enough, Mercedes.
No,
she was waiting, biding her time. I love that in kayfabe, Toni Storm's only known weakness is that she's easily distracted by hot women, because it's becoming her opponents now are just giving her a bit of a sniff and a nuzzle. Like, hey, Toni, hi. And Toni falls for it every single time. She is so easily distracted by beautiful women.
I hope she doesn't
love that.
lose.
It's her one weakness.
I really hope she doesn't lose because I feel like I want to see Mercedes win this world title. I do. I want the title on her because it's fucking Mercedes. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing they could do for Toni would be Toni beating Mercedes, and she deserves that because the stuff she's done in the last 2 years is just fucking next level.
Bear in mind, Mercedes has also got a match for the CMLL World Women's title, which, I'll be honest, I think she'll win. I think she'll win that one.
Do you think?
What match is that?
It's against Zeuxis at Grand Slam Mexico.
Okay.
Do you think she's winning that?
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised, mate. I'll be honest.
No, if she's... I thought she was losing all her titles.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
what
that was
I want.
what we went with.
I want the TBS free.
I don't see it happening. I think she's going to have...
up one in Austria too.
Yeah, that was class. How good was that? Yeah. And all the miserable comes, what is she doing going and taking a title? Because none of us had ever heard of this promotion, and now we all fucking know about it.
Same reason Tate Mayfair's went to Uganda with the TNT title. It's because now everyone was paying attention that was a fan of the wrestler. Same reason Will Ospreay bangs on about Eve. Yeah.
It's the same reason.
Get eyes on the program.
And the same reason he's been banging on about getting Michael Oku defending the British title on Forbidden Door, which I'd love it to be against Will Ospreay. I've said this before. I'd love Will Ospreay to beat him, and then Will Ospreay to have a mini run for Rev Pro again. Just throw him a bone. We got to keep this fucking Rebel Alliance together.
We do.
Yeah.
I don't think Mercedes wins.
I don't think she does.
She doesn't win, but it won't be a clean Zeuxis victory. I know I don't like to do the whole fantasy booking thing because I feel when you fantasy book too much, you get disappointed, then you make yourself miserable. But I would just throw this bone out here. She doesn't win cleanly. A certain sort of fallen goddess is maybe lurking, still waiting to get her revenge on Mercedes. Cost her the match against Zeuxis. And then that is a pathway to get that TBS title off of Mercedes. We still have episode 300 of Dynamite to go before All In. And my God, come on. It's right there. Right there, main event episode 300. The rematch we all want. Mercedes and Athena right
I think
there.
she loses it.
Does Athena have to lose the
That's
Ring of
all.
Honor
Gonna
title?
have to, unless she could relinquish it.
I would
she's
hate
made it such a
that. I would
big
hate that.
Well, I would hate her to relinquish it, especially since she's actually in a feud now with Thunder Rosa. But I'm thinking, there's very few ways you could move on from it. I actually think Mercedes will lose in the week, but I don't think it will be due to Athena's interaction. I think there will be some kind of timeless involvement in the match to get Tony Storm, just to get Tony.
That's a good shout.
That's it. Mina could be, to try and help Tony.
Does Tony not have a match then for Grand Slam?
I don't see one for Grand Slam.
Well, remember,
but basically
shows that entire week, so let's just
So you've got the CMLL Tuesday show. I don't know. I don't think she's got one for that, but they've also got one on the Saturday, which is the Fantastica Mania. It's the one that they do every year with New Japan, but AEW and Ring of Honor and Rev Pro are involved in it as well. I don't know if any. I know some matches for both those shows. So I know that on the Tuesday one, we're getting Bandido versus Mascara Dorada for the Ring of Honor title, which should be fucking class. But another one, because they got Takeshita, Fletcher, and Rocky Romero from the Don Callis family, but they were originally meant to be going up against Ultimo Guerrero, Averno, and Hechicero. But Hechicero's now aligned himself with the Callis family. He says, "I'm not fighting them. I'm joining them." So it's now a 4-on-4.
Who is joining the Don Callis family?
Oh mate, Okada's now in the ranks too.
Okada.
I love it.
Is Okada
joining the Don Callis?
I don't know. I don't know.
Now,
if he's officially
has he joined, has he made a deal? Look, I'll give you boys a title shot if you help me get the win.
Let's not jump that far. I think if we're gonna talk Okada, we have to talk that segment, Omega and Okada, the contract signing. We gotta start from start to finish. First off, before that, first off, credit AEW and Tony Khan for playing that 6-minute vignette of the history between Omega and Okada, their 4 previous matches, with
Ibushi crumbs scattered in.
It was amazing from start to finish. So everyone, all you idiots who's like, oh, they don't do video packaging, they don't videos. There it was. It's right there. The story is right there. And like I said, it's the first time on American soil. And then the contract signing comes out. Okada's nice and cool. All he did just sign it. And Omega, this was a very interesting point. I love that it humanized Omega. He saw that vignette and was like, that person there, that was a different person. He was talking about himself. He admits right now that he is not that same Omega. He is not the same Omega, but he realizes, you know what? This is the last time. He put it all on. This is the last time we might see this match ever. May the best man, and that Don Callis comes around with the fuckery and everything. And, Kenny's saying, we know all the tricks in your book. We've seen everything. And then Okada from behind, you didn't see that trick coming. And then we've all seen our fair share of horror movies, blood and gore and all that shit. I don't know what the hell they put in Omega's mouth, his system or whatever. When Okada hit that elbow drop on the one on the outside, the second one on the outside, I was scared and petrified because I'm like, holy, his shit is real. It's fucking real. And I'm like, oh my fucking word. It wasn't just blood, he was spewing up intestines and shit. Oh, you heard the gasp from the crowd. Holy fuck, what the hell, man?
Yeah, I was watching why the fuck is Kenny Omega inside out? Jesus Christ.
No, I saw a really good.
Every time they do a segment with his stomach, I'm watching it from behind my
it's fake, right?
I can't do it.
You know it's fake, right? No,
I saw. I know that. My heart does not know that. It gets so fucking stressed. I was like, Kenny, get up, please.
I saw a great meme where it says, someone said, me a picture of Kenny walking into the ring where it just says me on a normal day, and then it cuts to a photo of him when he's on the stretcher and he's got the blood around his mouth and everything. It says me when I've eaten too many strawberries. It just really tickled me.
Somebody, the best one I saw, because the internet wrestling community was going to be on fire with this. Somebody had the picture with Kenny spewing his blood and guts, and the caption was, hey, you wanna watch a match of the Miz? And then it's you just spitting up all the blood. Oh my god!
Oh,
so shit. Did you guys not see the Okada thing coming though? Because maybe
it's just bitch a minute earlier.
No, maybe it's just me. But it's the way the camera panned round. I was like, oh fuck, Ken. It's like a horror film when you know someone's going to be around the corner. The way the camera cut and it turned to Kenny on the ropes at the front with no sound. I was like, Okada's got it was obvious at that point it was going to happen. But sometimes, like I've said before, sometimes the most obvious thing is the best thing, and it was brilliant. Okada brutally destroying Kenny Omega, Don Callis standing by, offering the wrench or whatever it was. What was it? Pipers? No, it was a
It was like
It was
a
a
nice
police,
step back.
it was a
Yeah.
police
Kinda.
baton. Yeah, the extended, yeah.
So
So yeah.
I don't know. Do we have Kenny appear on TV for
I think he has to.
until All In then, or are they going to sell this angle?
I think he has
bit
to.
longer?
Because he was on the cover for fucking. I mean, like we talked about that with the CM Punk thing in Saudi Arabia. He was on the. He was part of selling tickets for Grand Slam Mexico, so he's going to have to show up some.
He's
Okay.
not in that multi-man match, is he?
There's a lot of
No,
people
no.
complaining about it that he's not been announced. Like people who've got tickets are really unhappy because they want to see Kenny Omega.
No,
Because Will Ospreay
the
wasn't either
multi-man.
until afterwards. They did announce it afterwards that he's in the multi-man.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
God,
him,
we haven't
Swerve,
talked
and
about
the Ops versus the Death Riders and the Young Bucks.
Yeah, we haven't spoken about
Oh,
that.
the end match.
How good was the
Talking
match
to
though?
Fucking awesome.
Oh, it was amazing.
The match is incredible. It was one of the
Of course
best,
it was
one of the best TV matches I've seen for ages.
It was fucking
Obviously, we
awesome.
knew it was gonna be.
And like,
Yeah, it was.
And yeah, the whole fucking Will Ospreay actually. I mean, Will Washington shared this that moment of Will Ospreay saying he'd take a bullet for him, and then like he fucking did. You know, he
Will you, big stupid hero?
I would have much rather seen these two because just because of how good they are, that two of the best in the world, and that just the personalities that they are have singles matches. But at the end of the day, if they're going to have a match with the Bucks, it's probably going to be one of the best matches of the year. At
Yeah,
least.
They do that.
the thing is,
then they do it all out. They do a Forbidden Door, whatever. They do a final match, singles match
Yeah.
with a stipulation between them.
It's
I do it all out myself. I do it all out because
All out.
the thing is, at All In, you have to get the Bucks on the card somewhere, and I don't see where they would fit. If you're not going to do like a multi-man stadium stampede, because they've done too many
Yeah,
of
they've
them
just
already.
done that.
They've just done it, and it might also be too risky considering like Nick's not long had a concussion, and this might be like a somewhat of a safer way out of it. And again, it does feel like a bit of a cop out because you kind of, for the biggest show in the stadium, that they've done in the US, you kind of think a singles match that Ospreay and Swerve would be like fucking awesome, but I think
It's
from a
linked
story
to the
perspective,
main.
it makes sense.
It's all about that main event. The whole show is about.
Well, and
Hangman
and you think about it, Kenny and
potentially-
Okada is going to be they're going to get their money's worth with Kenny and Okada, like in
They
terms of
are,
like the
but
in-ring
big
quality.
story is that belt, and I think the
Mm.
Bucks are involved in that.
the
They need to be on the card.
of the men's matches, the biggest three are the Elite, essentially,
Mhm.
and that's going to play out somehow. I feel like Swerve and Ospreay will be so fucked after that match that they won't be able to help Hangman, which will set it up perfectly for Darby Allin returning to
Darby,
fight
yeah.
off the Death Riders. That's why I was saying today I don't want the other Death Riders on the card. I don't want them in a match. They don't need to be in a trios match because they're not going to win the title because Death Riders are nearly done. For me, the Death Riders' involvement in that match should be to try and help John Moxley win, and it should be stopped by Darby Allin returning to fight them off,
Okay.
whether he's on his own or whether he has backup. Eddie Kingston,
Back up in the form of Eddie Kingston
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Bryan
I'm thinking
Danielson.
Brian Danielson.
I'm thinking that Ospreay and Swerve do try to help, but because of the match
Yeah,
they'd
yeah.
had, they're not much
They'll be
use.
fucked, or maybe the Bucks come back after them and try and they brawl off or whatever. But whatever,
Yeah.
like just nothing. I don't want too much of a fucking mishmash. I don't want a fucking WrestleMania main event. But what I do want is them to leave it clear for us to have a good 20 minutes of Hangman Mox on their own with nobody around. Get the interference down early, get Darby to fight them off early, and if he wants to come back out at the end, he can do. But early on in the match for me, and then just give us at least a solid 20-minute run of Hangman Mox.
No, I'd have Darby come back near the end and just clear, just as the Death Riders are trying to come in. They never get in the ring, but that's when Darby appears to sort of fight them off last minute.
Maybe when
Maybe from the rafters, fuck it.
Maybe when Hangman goes to hit the fucking
Buckshot.
yeah, no, the or the other one, fucking the
Deadeye.
The Deadeye.
And I'm getting so excited just thinking about it. Maybe when Hangman goes to that and he goes to pin Mox, maybe at that point the Death Riders come and drag the referee out or whatever. Any of these typical things we see would work, and then Darby comes down chasing Mox. Maybe gets back on top a little bit. Hangman fights back.
I
Buckshot
think the
gets a
Young
win.
Bucks. So I think because they've done this a couple times. I think Swerve and Ospreay try and help him out, but Hangman refuses Swerve's help. He doesn't refuse Ospreay's help. He refuses Swerve's help. That allows enough time for the Bucks to come back out and lay them both out again. Then we get with the Death Riders or whatever, but then we get Darby and Sting because Sting lives in Texas. I think Sting is going to appear.
It's a good shout.
Okay, I will always take Sting. However, I have changed my mind about how I want it to end, and you're all going to yell at me. I
But
don't give a fuck.
you can easily get Eddie King. If Gabe Kidd's there, you can easily do an Eddie Kingston return. You can easily do a Brian Danielson return.
Brian Danielson return would be absolute gold. It really would.
Would be, but
He's going to be there
how
anyway. He's going to be there anyway.
I just don't want it to be a WrestleMania shitfest.
How it should end, and you're going to disagree, and I don't give a shit because this is what's
Brandon
going to
Cutler
happen.
comes
So
back
decide
and just turns on the Young Bucks.
Yes, please. And no, stop distracting me with Brandon Cutler. Okay, no. How it's going to end is for whatever reason he can't hit the buckshot lariat from the outside. Maybe the Death Riders are lying in the ring or whatever. Instead, he hits it. Do you remember when he hit it off the back of a referee when the ropes broke? He's going to hit it off Swerve's back. He's going to hit the buckshot. Swerve's going to bend over. It's going to bend over.
Yeah. They're not
Shut up,
that
Andy.
close
I
yet.
don't care about stupid kids. He's fine. They're fine.
It's too soon
He's
for
going to
me.
hit it off the buckshot. No, he's going to hit the buckshot off Swerve.
I actually, anyway, I still have a theory that Will Ospreay may turn, and that could fuck Swerve over. That's been my theory
William.
It's been my theory for a good few weeks now, and I still think that could happen. Especially after him taking that boot in the face for Swerve.
Yeah, like taking the bullet.
It's his fault, and no, I think he could, and like that would work. I mean, that would leave Swerve on his own, and it would leave Hangman on his own if they do want to push that story of them like
Hangman has sent the Bucks away. They heard Hangman say he's not working.
Oh no,
with the
I mean, if Ospreay turns, like it would leave Swerve on his own because Hangman's he's not going to go ahead. Like for Hangman and Swerve now, it's like it should be not we want to be mates, we want to help each other. It should just be it's done. That's it. We're not mates.
They
we're
have
not enemies.
to. If they don't learn to work together, Hangman isn't winning.
He's winning.
No, it's just not happening.
No, he's winning
Because
he's
he
winning
has to
the
learn.
fight.
He doesn't have to like Swerve, but the enemy of my enemy is
he
my
doesn't
ally.
have to work with him.
He has to
He
learn.
doesn't have to work with him. He doesn't because they told us this week. Christopher Daniels told us this week he's got friends out there who he may have had issues with, but they'll be there for him. That's the Dark Order. He's gonna have the Dark Order back. Mm-hmm. We're rolling back the years here. We're going full on nostalgia trip. The Dark Order are going to have a big part in the last, till last night. But in the next few weeks, the Dark Order are back. I guarantee you. We're going to get an evil. Oh yes,
No,
give an Evil Uno John Moxley match.
No, there's an Evil Uno Preston Vance match.
The last one was amazing. Sorry, Dan.
It was. I was going to say there is an Evil Uno Preston Vance match on Ring of Honor, so that could start the roll. That could start the roll.
They did, but they did a throwback. Remember they brought Hangman out with the tape on his mouth? Do you remember the last time someone was wrestling kidnapped?
One of my favourite moments in the history of AEW. That
in a
was
horse
amazing.
Costume with the thing on his mouth. Yeah.
The Hangman was the marshmallow.
That's one of the greatest moments in AEW history. That the Bucks faces as they slowly realise that Hangman's behind them. I love
like Hangman takes the mask off like very slowly. It's like.
Yeah, it's so good.
So, like, what else have we missed from last night then? Because it was a 4-hour show and we hardly spoke. We had the women's tag titles that aren't there yet, but should be. That was a good match.
They will be.
Good match.
Yeah. Megan Bayne.
Oh, Ty back is everything to me. I love
Megan Bayne protected. Ty and TJ get the win. Good. You know, it's a good way forward. It made no sense for them to lose. Thekla was class again, and Minata is stiff as fuck. That was Thekla's looking like a hell of a sign in there, and
she's looking great.
And Minata should be on TV every week.
I agree. And Tony and Julia was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sky and Julia are together again, as nature intended.
As are Tony and Mina.
Tony and Mina. I need Sky and Julia to add a third member.
No,
a woman, and we get the Weird Sisters Coven faction of my dreams, and you need 3.
I got a major
Who's the third member?
Red Velvet.
I got a major complaint of the show last night. The main event, the last match. This has been 2-3 weeks of the same variation of Paragon, Daniel Garcia versus the same members of the Don Callis family.
Yeah, I agree.
It's been 1 week, it's a tag team. Next week, it's a trios. Next week, it's a 8-man. And I'm sorry, all due respect, now it's a 12-man tag next week. I am going to say this right now. I am not happy for that match.
No,
respectively, that match should not be taking place because now this will be 3-4 weeks. It's the same match, but now you just add one Brody King. I'm sorry. With all due respect, I don't need to see the same variation of the match.
I get what you're saying.
There's
a slight variation though. There's a slight variation because on the babyface side, there's no Kyle and Roddy. They're adding Bandido and Templario and Atlantis Jr. instead. So there's slightly different members. I get what you mean and I agree, but just to clarify that Kyle and Roddy aren't actually in the match.
It feels to me like the reason the TNT title started to feel unimportant was because they were just doing the same matches week in, week out with different variations of trios and tags rather than actually doing TNT title matches. And that's just what it's like. It's almost like they're like, oh, we don't really know what to do at the moment, so we'll just kind of keep getting you on TV with these matches. And they're good matches. But I just want to see some progression and mix it up a little bit, and I get that. It doesn't feel as important. Sorry.
Bowens has tagged Adam Cole saying, "I still want this, the title." So that can be
hopefully
next. They can
like Dan just said, like the three members like Bandito, Mascara, and Atlantis. It should be those three as a trio.
Yeah, I agree.
Pick whatever three members of the Don Callis family. Fine, but with all due respect, I'm not happy. Like, I understand you have those additions, but Bandito should be the luchador talent should be the main focus of the match.
I do agree. He's defending it on the Tuesday show against Mascara Dorada, and then he's going to be at Fantastica Mania as well. So he was the CMLL trios titles. It was going to be Dorada, Mystico, and Neon, their Sky team, against Bandito, Hologram, and Commander. But Commander, I think he's injured, so I'm not sure who they're going to replace. But so Bandito is back in like CMLL like as a featured attraction, but just on the Grand Slam show, he's just in that tag. Which after the match he had with Mortos, like again, like he's so good, and I just wish they would keep. Like not have the Ring of Honor title strapped onto a guy who is just going to be primarily wrestling for AEW. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand it. I think if you're going to have the Ring of Honor champion, keep him on Ring of Honor.
Well, I would say like I think it's different this time around because they have been promoting the Grand Slam Mexico show, so you're going to have a key figure in Bandito who's wrestling multiple nights during the week, so I don't mind it for this sense, but I would say after this week, after next week, then like I said, keep them primarily on. I understand them like keeping the focus the past few weeks to a month because you're building to the Grand Slam week, not just the special TV, but like you said, they got 3 or 4 other events throughout the week, so I don't mind that you're promoting the show. But man, we didn't even really dive into the Bandito and Mortos match. I mean,
that's so good.
They're
just so good.
I mean, first off, like. I mean, I put it on Twitter the other night, like, I need the Beast Mortos mask on sale right now.
It's got to be why they changed it, hasn't it? Do you think?
It's got to be soon. Like, I mean, they finally did the Bandito mask. You saw instant sellout. They had to restock immediately. Once the Beast Mortos mask goes on sale, instant sellout. Like, I will buy it. I will do a full episode in this. No problem. Like, that means we all got to go full luchador. For that match.
We'll do a Halloween episode. We'll all be in costume.
I'll get a Los Outrunners mask somewhere. I'll find one.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Speaking of Lost Outrunners, like, Tony, what are you doing? The Lost Outrunners, they came out without their mask.
It's a disgrace.
How you, like...
That's sacrilege in Mexico.
Yeah. They should have had to lose the masks in a match, which they wouldn't have happened because they wouldn't lose. But they should.
I think Nigel called it out when they came out. Like, they called the Lost Outrunners and they didn't come out with their mask on.
They did have those amazing new T-shirts, though, which I think were already sold out.
They restocked. No, they did. They restocked them because Mo's managed to get one.
The T-shirts.
Yeah, they did restock them. I don't know. They might have gone again now. But Mo
tantrum averted.
Yeah,
for now.
Mo's was whinging about it because he was trying to get one, but they were back pretty soon. But I think they're gone again now. But whatever. Cost a fortune anyway to get them from the fucking international shipping.
The amount of times I tried to get a bloody Jack Perry scapegoat shirt, 3 times they sold out before I finally got one.
She got me the blue or turquoise or whatever colour it is. I don't know. Outrunners T-shirt from the shop for my birthday there that came, and it was fantastic.
It's turquoise.
Excellent.
Nice.
It's the Outrunners is turquoise.
I will be wearing that with the Outrunners sweatbands set that I also got for my birthday, and I will be having a full-on shave and just keep growing, make sure the moustache is nice and fluffy for Forbidden Door.
I will cosplay for Forbidden Door.
I won't be cosplay.
I'm wearing the Bandito mask for Forbidden Door, like when I get it. I haven't forgotten. It's happening, but
I'll just be the.
I haven't decided yet. Do I keep this?
I thought you would go full on dragon, to be honest.
I do, my former life as an actress, I did a bit of theatre makeup as well. I can do I can't take it all the way back because you guys don't know the burden that comes with this. It's a curse. But yeah, but I could do I don't know, maybe I'll put a poll up, let people decide. Or maybe I'll ask Brandon, you're not using the gimmick anymore, can I have it?
Just wear a
please?
Serpentico shirt. I think you'll be fine.
Don't say, I told you not to say that name.
Serpentico and Tate Mayfair's need a merged shirt. They need to tag actually. I want to know this Tate Mayfair story.
You were beefing in my comments.
I need to know this Tate Mayfair story.
Which one?
The MJF one. We need to find out how to find this out
we'll do our
without
best.
spending £100.
Well,
Get
I
a
think
scoop.
I think on that
I'll save
note,
up. I'll break my piggy bank.
we don't want to get cancelled.
He was in the pub when we were after
Andrew's
TNT.
meeting was cancelled.
I should have asked him.
Talking about
I'll ask him in the pub after TNT next time.
Oh my!
If I'm not
Buy him a drink.
completely wrecked and
I'll ask his
harassing
missus.
Darwin.
She'll know. Yeah, if you're not
honest.
simping for that.
That Leonardo Darwin is the greatest mind in British wrestling. He is. And Brett, you didn't do your homework. It's a fucking disgrace. I know you didn't because you would have said as soon as you're on here, holy fucking shit, that Leonardo Darwin, man. He's fucking amazing. Do it for next week.
What if you had to choose Darwin or the Outrunners, Andy?
I come on, the Outrunners probably, but Darwin, I don't know. But maybe, do you know what? Darwin would work well with the Outrunners. He'd work well with anyone.
Wouldn't he? Yeah.
His gimmick is different
All right, well,
every week.
I'll try and get the take crack from his missus. She was Eve. I actually tweeted Tate. I was like, if you're wondering where she is, she's with me and about 500 other people. But that's not the point, Tate. She's with me.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll see.
I also have the Leonardo Darwin shirt coming at some point. That was another birthday present, but it's not available yet. It's on pre-order. So as soon as that comes, I will wear it on camera and show the world how good the Boys Will Be Boys t-shirt is.
Where's that ordered from?
His Instagram. Yeah, she had to message him on Instagram and order it for me, but I didn't want to do it because I was a bit embarrassed. I may have been very drunk and telling him how amazing he was.
You were serenading him,
Just a bit.
reciting sonnets.
That checks out. To be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the happiest I've ever seen Andy.
I was absolutely fucking buzzing, and it's funny because Tate was there, Trent was there. They were all in the pub actually, and we didn't have
Trent Seven.
Yeah, we didn't harass any of them, apart from me harassing Darwin. It's funny because Aaron's on a video, they're sending a video to Tom, and in the background you can just see Tate on having a pint, and we'd said, funnily enough, he's never out of character. And whenever we spoke to him, he wasn't. He was fully in character, and to the point where we seen him walking up and down outside. And then it turns out he was recording that video where he's looking for it, and it's excellent. And that was outside the pub. He's walking, and it was in the pub when he's going, and then I found her, and it's so good. They're excellent.
Yeah, much deserved shit as I give Tate Mayfair's, he is admittedly one of the absolute best in the world.
She's going to be sick off camera now.
He has everything. He's one of the few that has every single aspect of professional wrestling down to a fucking T.
Yeah. One of the best all around on the planet. There's no downside to Tate Mayfair's, except his personality.
He could make MJF cry, as you say.
Easy.
He
It makes everybody fucking cry. There's things
Leonardo Darwin
could
could make them all cry.
box.
And that's a fact. Mike knows this.
Darwin makes you cry all the time.
Yeah, but that's tears of joy.
Seeing your eyes fill up at the sight of Darwin.
Yes.
It's like me with Brandon Cutler.
It's like me with Bandito.
We all have our Brandon Cutlers. Yours just happens to be Darwin. All right, okay. Who's your special guy? I have Brandon Cutler. Obviously.
Bandito every time.
Bandito. Okay.
Fucking hell.
What about Brett and Mike?
What was that?
Who would you cry and recite sonnets?
The Outrunners and Darwin for me. It's got to be three.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can have three. I'm not a sonnet girl. The best I can do is a dirty limerick. But go on, lads. Who's yours?
Okay.
I could probably do a haiku, and that's about it for Bandito. But I'm not even sure you know what it is. But that's by the by.
I feel like I could do some special things rhyming the word Cutler. Or Brandon. If you get hand on to rhyme with Brandon. Yeah, all right. I can make something pretty special out of that.
I could do some karaoke with the Outrunners and Darwin. I think that would be fantastic. That's my dream night.
Get an inbox.
I'll just take Bandito to Molyneux and have a great time.
Fucking
D&D with Brandon Cutler, that would be my dream. Just actually no, just to play D&D rather than DM it is the dream.
Bandito would never speak to you again. You're talking to fucking wolves. What are you doing?
He wouldn't know. He wouldn't know. Sin Cara used to.
He wouldn't know because that mask keeps falling down over his eyes.
It wasn't really you two. I
mean, if I had one, I'd put it down if we were losing, which is probably likely. But even so, you still go for the atmosphere. But imagining Bandito chat with a bunch of people from the West Midlands where he can't understand what they're saying. It'd be class. He'd still have a great time.
I hope the mask you buy doesn't keep falling down like his one.
I hope it does.
We'll see. But I've got a fatter head than him. So,
who's your special little guy, Brett?
What, that I would sing a song?
That you would follow around a pub declaring your love for until you were politely asked to leave without making a scene.
I mean, it's the guy tattooed on my arm. I mean, Jesus Christ, he's the guy that got me into wrestling.
That's not Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
It's close enough.
What's his finisher?
He's close enough.
What's his finisher? The crossface.
No.
Oh, God. I liked it when...
Crucifix pin was right there, Andy.
He came back with another gimmick, didn't he? With different WWE name change after Easter.
Wait, it is Brett, isn't it? It is Bret Hart, isn't
Absolutely.
it? I should bring the sunglasses he gave me to Forbidden Door. You can try them on.
I'll
tell you the story of how I scammed them.
Yes, I
can't wait to hear that one.
So
it's quite famous.
What shows have we all got coming up then at the next couple of weeks? So you got Eve. I'm going Independence Day, which is going to be good. The Infinite one on the 3rd. Eve on the 4th. Progress on the 29th. Sorry.
Progress.
There's one before.
Progress is next
I'm going
week.
Attack. I'm going Attack on the 13th to see Drew Parker and Lycos.
Nice.
Is that the Hooters one?
No, that's the one in.
It's the one with the Neck Deep album cover.
Yeah, it's the one in Cardiff.
Okay.
Yeah, the Hooters one is Independence Day on the 3rd. That's got Lycos have been announced now, tagging.
Mm-hmm.
Lizzie will be on, and so will Luke Jacobs. So already that's a card and a half.
Well,
there's sorry for you, Brett. British wrestling's amazing.
There's such a lot on at the moment, isn't there?
Best in the world.
There's such a lot on. I mean, we've talked about these things next week, like Grand Slam, like the CMLL shows, they're all going to be fantastic. But the next one for me is the Rev Pro Rumble. It's on 22nd. It's a week on Sunday. Well, I mean, they announced a bunch of names for the Rumble match, like Shah Samuels. They've announced Ricky Knight Jr. They've announced there's plenty more, but it should be. And they got Oku versus TK Cooper. Because for the British heavyweight title. Yeah, come on, Oku. Oku's not losing that title yet. But then, Progress Manchester after that. Eve Mean Girls is on the 4th of July. And then, obviously, it's All In, shortly after that. And then
there's an Eve show over All In as well, isn't there? Who told us that? Was it a wrestler?
No, that's the closest one. So they won't do one.
I was told...
There is another one in August, I believe.
I was told there is one over the Forbidden Door weekend.
Oh, Forbidden Door.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Forbidden Door.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. There's one over the weekend.
All In.
Oh, sorry, yeah, over the Forbidden Door weekend.
I keep calling it All In as well. Fucking stealing
it. It's called.
Who told us that there was one on? It's not announced yet, but someone told us. Was it a wrestler? I can't remember.
So they got Hit Me With Your Best Chop on the 1st of August, and they've got Strong Women's Style on the 5th of September. So it's the week after.
Yeah, there's one over the weekend apparently, of the week. So there's going to be a bonus show.
I'd like to know.
Somebody told us there's one of that week. They're going to do one, and also Attack are doing one apparently that week. And North
Riot have got one.
I know Riot have got one. Rev Pro have got 2.
Ceasefire have got one.
Yeah, I'm going that one. Yeah.
Progress have got one on the bank holiday Monday as well.
Rev Pro have got the anniversary shows. I'm doing.
I've
got the anniversary.
I can't remember who it was who told.
And we'll be doing Progress on the Monday.
Someone told us definitely that there's an Eve one over that weekend, but they haven't announced it yet. And there's also an Attack one, and I think North. Someone said as well. So there's a few more. Probably because it'll be some of the day, won't they? They'll be in the WrestleMania weekend thing, where they just kind of try and get as many. As long as you get enough time to make it from one show to another, I'll probably go a few others as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that weekend. I'm definitely gonna do Riot Cabaret.
Are you missing
the shows?
Are you missing the
So
day one?
I'll miss the anniversary.
Yeah, I think that's what we're
night
doing.
one.
I'll be at that. I'll be at both Rev Pros.
Yeah, but I'm going to do the Riot Cabaret show. I think
we are,
because if I can swing the Saturday, I'll do the Rev Pro anniversary show that night, and then I'll do Forbidden Door, and then I'll do Progress.
Yeah, that's
it sounds like a really fun weekend.
I'm also doing the Glasgow show.
Oh yeah, you're doing.
It's only like a couple of
some
hours
trip
from
down
me.
in it, yeah.
No, not for Lucy. It's like
Oh
what,
God,
an
it
hour
is.
and a
You
half?
said you said you're not from the
Yeah, I
border.
live on the border.
Yeah.
I live
That's
on the
not
Scottish
too bad.
border,
Then.
yeah.
We're gonna get down for the Pro Wrestling Ceasefire show on the Thursday, mainly because someone told me the pints are cheap, but that should be good as well.
We'll probably head down on the Thursday, but
Well, we're gonna, we should organise a meetup. We should organise drinks with, a bunch of people from the Discord. People who can make, even if they can't make all the shows, just come along and we'll see who's going to what, and we'll, get a meetup going because there's some great. It's going to be some great indie wrestling on. It's a perfect palate, appetite sort of pleaser before the big one, Forbidden Door, which again should be awesome. So. I'm really
I
looking
may or
forward
may
to
not
it.
have something nefarious planned with some ladies that I've been talking to that the boys don't need to know about. Nothing to do with them. So you might want to keep an eye on the podcast around Forbidden Door weekend because there might be something going up.
Well,
Doesn't concern you, all of you. I just decided to talk about it while you're currently here.
I'm too tired to fight this now. I need to get some sleep.
That's good. Okay, we've been going for a couple of hours. I think we've done pretty well.
Yeah.
Right, chapter 2 of why Brandon Cutler is the best wrestler of all time, okay?
Stop recording.
Yeah, Leonardo Darwin. The Outrunners. Truth Magnum.
Bandido.
We are not an ASMR
Truth.
channel, Andy. Doing your
Truth. Truth.
dirty phone calls.
Truth.
Pest voice.
Truth. Come and talk to us on the show, mate. We love you.
Come on, boy. Let's
go.
The Outrunners are cats. in this scenario.
I've got visions of the two of them now. Going, what? Get some dreamies. Anybody dreamies?
I do actually, but I shan't make them too
fuck
loud.
that.
I feel like if any tag team would chase a laser pointer for my amusement, it would be the Outrunners.
I think the Bucks would as well. To be
We're
honest,
cutting this out, right? Me calling the Outrunners.
No, we're not. The Outrunners. We're going to clip it and send it to the Outrunners. We need the Outrunners. We need them on the jet skis coming over. If they're not in Forbidden Door, honestly, I'm going to fucking riot.
After you, Outrunners.
I genuinely am going to riot.
My rats after you.
Imagine if they're on Riot Cabaret in Slamball. I'd love it.
Oh my God. Don't do this to me, Dan. That's amazing.
In Slamball, I'm guessing you know the premise of Slamball.
Yeah.
Yeah. But does everyone else? Basically, it's like it's like a tag team match, but instead of basically you score points if you hit a power slam, and it's like a football match. And the one time when we were at Riot Cabaret last year, they did it for the first time that I'd seen it, and I was in bits. The Outrunners would be undefeated at that. They'd be like the PSG or like the Barcelona of Slamball.
Or the Liverpool,
them.
the actual champions of the Premier League. Yeah.
Yeah, but Europe, I'm just thinking.
Barcelona didn't win anything.
Europe. I said PSG. I was talking about Barcelona just in general, historically. But
fucking stupid.
Yeah,
Qatar.
stupid.
It's the same difference. Anyway.
Wow.